G'day. I am here once again, and if I sound a little bit low at first, it's because, well, I've been a little bit sick today. Yeah, turns out my body sometimes doesn't like reacting to certain things, and man, here I am, just vibing. Assistant Twin and I am conducting their performance review. Well, good luck with this new manager. You are afraid of... You got to be ready of that soon enough. So I'm going to say Caster is ready as well. Just 'cause it looks like, well, it seems like everyone's far readier than if I thought they'd be. But this should be a good series nonetheless. Division B West semi-finals. We have the first seed Assistant Noob Manager facing off against the fourth seed Spooky Ghosts. And we can see here map pick. Well, Assistant Noob Manager had either first pick or map pick. They did go first pick. So we see Spooky Ghosts went to Tomb of Spider Queen after Gun of Terror. Cursed Hollow, Battlefield Eternity, and Braxis Holdout were banned out, and also thank you Mudar for following. Greatly appreciate it, but right, we're in the draft as you can hear. Let's get into it, shall we? And sorry, I will be muting myself every now and again to drink, because my throat is still quite, my body is slowly warming up, even though it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon for me. So yeah, you're going to have to deal with that. Sorry if I get a little bit quiet while this drafting happens. You're right. Last time these... oh, wrong pipe. Last time these teams matched up, it was actually pretty close. This is one of the few teams that did manage to take Assistant Noob Manager to a map 3 this season. I don't think they're taken there very often, but it did indeed happen. And in fact, I can actually have a look at this, can't I? These are stats I have readily available. Not readily available, but they are available enough. So they had 3 maps this season where they didn't get a domination. But we do see Sagara banned out and Tahaka banned out. Both pretty hot cranberry. I do not have cranberry juice available to me, and I am too sore to drive currently. Muscles being sore is a hell of a thing. But yes, you are correct. Also, welcome, Mui. Hope you're doing well today. Velcomer, same to you. Hope you're doing well. Indeed, there are nerds around, me included. But right, let's see what we're going to have next. There's a Blaze ban. One of 3 teams. Yep. Velcomer, you're onto it basically, I think, roughly the same time as when stream would have heard as well. I do sometimes look at the numbers, but we do see we are coming up to the last ban of this map. And the question is, what is it going to be? Li Ming, so we do see a little bit of targeting onto Pink Blackout here, but also, in saying that, Eric with a K is also feeling a little bit of a sting as well. Both Blaze is used most commonly as an offlaner, and we can see that Tahaka also one of the stronger offlaners, but Joanna left open and is picked up pretty quickly by Unicycle Yay. Which, if I'm to hazard a guess, they may stay the tank, but we do also see Nullia sometimes. I know. We may see a little bit of switching, but we do see Sylvanas and Win picked up, which does leave open some cheese. I do like Sylvanas on this map a lot. It does very much help those web weavers kind of push in more and more often. You can hear now my voice is slowly getting more and more up there, so the hype is coming, and I'm getting very excited for this by the sounds of things. I should say we are just doing a best of 3 today. There was no pre-agreement about a best of 5, so it is just going to be the 2 maps, so we're going to hopefully go the full way. As you see, Falstad and Lucio picked up by Nor and Simeon, respectively. Final ban phase. I imagine we're going to see yet another ban onto Pink Blackout, is my imagining. What do you even get rid of here at this point? Vala? I'd like to see the Vala banned. Yup, there we go. And let's see, we have Kalidus, Rogoff, and Eric. Okay, so we still have tanks, and they were, you are correct, I did see that. They were on opposite sides indeed, but what are we going to see banned out next? Eric with a K, what else is in your bruiser pool? Urel banned? I'd like to see the Urel band coming out. Gazlo, maybe? One of those two, I'd imagine. Sergeant Hammer. You know what? Fair enough. That's a really annoying one to go into. I wonder if it was played against them. I don't have all the stats up in front of me, unfortunately. I wasn't quite that prepared. As prepared as I may seem sometimes, I wasn't quite that prepared. But I can slowly scroll on down and figure it out, hopefully. We do see now Kalefish and Varian picked up. So likely the Taunt Varian, as we do see they're picked up by Rogoff. But this is tournament draft. You can't switch it. Are we in a red team meta? That is a very good question to see. Where did they face it? Oh my god, ages ago. It was really their first round, huh? I think we will see Uriel. Maybe Leoric. Okay, it's going to be the offlane Joanna and Diablo as the main tank by the looks of things. I would like to see Eric with a K go Leoric here then. I literally found all the team's last picks as you called that, Valk. I'm very good at timing it when I finally see your message pop through. I do have a 30-second head start, however. I would like to see Leoric Law. I think that would be honestly a very good pick for the team here. And yep, there it is. Eric with a K picking up that spooky man Leoric. So we'll have a very interesting time by the looks of things. I like both these drafts a lot. We are going to see there was swapping. Nullius on Joanna now. Unicycle, yeah, Diablo. Pink Blackout was Mephisto staying the same. Everything else staying more or less the same. So this is what you see, what we're going to get. And I guess we'll get into the game. So I'll swap it back over to this screen. And actually, Valkymer did ask the team some questions before the series came out. And we do see one of the questions was any special preparations coming into the semi-final match. And, well, Nullius answered for his team. It's kind of business as usual, which means team discussions are nerding about HOTS for days and days. And they do see Little Wolf said for their team, for Spooky Ghost, we are rewatching some of our old games against them and looking what makes them a strong team. There's too much that they have been successful with, so we have to ask what game plan we want to execute and plan around that. So both these teams have had some thought into this game, but it does sound like Spooky Ghosts are really starting to pick things apart, because definitely assistant new manager is the top dog here. They're quite difficult to come into, and they've proven time and time again why they are the top of the table. But right, as you can hear, we're in the game, so let me change it on over, shall we? And just as a reminder, take it, Reno. Take the gem, Reno. It's not going to work for me, is it? Nope. Anyway, back here. We do see Unicycle Yay B stepping out of his mind on Diablo, Pink Blackout Mephisto, Nor is on Felstar, Nullius on what's likely the offlane Joanna, and Simeon is on the Lucio. On the other side, we do see that it is going to be Collidus on the Kalefish. Little Wolf is sitting there pretty on that, I think it's Anduin. Yep, Anduin, Rogoff, Varian, Rift is on Sylvanas. No Cheese, by the way. And Eric with a K is on Leoric. And I guess this isn't really a map you can cheese at easily. It is quite enclosed. We can see Rift is thinking about it. Pink Blackout's like, wait a minute, no, we don't want that. And very good spread by the side of Spooky Ghost. I need to move my camera down a little bit more as we see everyone is now coming up here. Pink Blackout getting a decent amount of damage. Oh, Eric with a K, very deep, and we do see a nice pull from Little Wolf. Eric with a K, almost going down there. Thankfully, he did manage to get into range of the Anduin. Anduin was able to finish pull, and this should be actually a little bit of a difficult matchup for the Joanna, as if you just get drained, there's not really too much you can do about it, and I imagine we may even see a drain build coming out later in the game, but still E-build is often the correct choice. Opening up talents to see how we're going to go in terms of the actual stack. And we already see that it is going to be Nor at 11 Q stacks. Gathering Storm getting up there quite quickly. Joanna, Laws of Hope. Just 2 on those so far, but it is one of those slower ones to stack. And I think is more preferable in the offlane. Other things to note is we do have Diablo with Soulstone, which that's always going to exist. It's Diablo, here's Soulstone. I do like Soul Shield being picked up. Very handy into heavier spell damage, which with kind of how the damage structure is being built by Spooky Ghost. Sylvanas has that Q build. It's going to be very important, actually, that spell damage. And Simeon is considering stepping in. Eric Vacay realizing they can't stay around for too much longer will head back down to the bottom lane to get what soak they can. One last stacking quest to note is going to be Kael'thas going globes. They are staying well within Pink Blackout's ring of damage and are going to be fine ultimately. And thank you for following Nom saying let's go. Ooh, Unicycle Yay is in trouble. That Soul Shield very helpful even at only the 37. And thank you for following Wispy. And I should change it back over to my other screen so I can just see things a little bit easier. And we do hear that Taunt is now going to come out. That's actually quite a hard one to deal with. Nomi, it's alright. No need to worry about it. Heaven Bid, you may actually eventually see me stream something not hot, so you go, why am I following this person again? Because odds are that's what I'm going to do in the off-season. Just spread my wings from HOTS a little, take a little break. I do still play a little bit in my spare time, just not as much anymore. There is the Taunt. I don't think you get the kill here, but you do get a lot of damage even through that Soul Shield. Soul Shield popped 40 soul armor, and they're still taking quite a bit. We can see both teams slowly making their way towards those turn-ins. Roughly 1 gem difference between the two. But we can now see Nor and Simeon has gone back to deal camp. There is going to be a little bit extra soak found at bottom by Leoric. That is a good taunt on Joanna, and that is an excellent kill by the side of Spooky Ghost, grabbing first blood 3 minutes into, almost 3 minutes exactly into the game. We do see that in terms of stacking, Lucio is going that knockback, which should help a little bit with getting rid of things. And welcome, thank you for following Legacy. Really appreciate it. There we go, Taunt coming out onto the Felstad, barely rolls out in time. Anduin just a little bit too far away, a little bit for some fear in time. Does pull Rogoff out of danger, and Rogoff will be fine as well. Wait, what's Anduin? Anduin has not picked yet. That's why I don't know what Anduin is. Kael'thas at 9 globes, getting close to that mana shield. Very helpful into the mid and late game. But the mid to late game is very much where the side of his new man just start picking up. Oh, Kael'thas getting the stun onto Unicycle Yay. Not quite who was wanted, but it's who they got. And I will note that we do see now that it is going to be both turn-ins available for both teams. That's a redundant sentence, but both teams do have a turn-in up and available for them. And we do see Rogoff barely gets tickled by the Q of Pink Blackout, which we can see Varian doing very well to control these top bushes, but the blue Web Weavers are going to be turned in. Unicycle Yay turns in 31 of their many gems. But in all honesty, it's not always what you're scared of here. Oh, Eric Vacay going for a blind grab at a bush. But no, they are going to be fine in the end. Joanna wasn't quite in position to help. And these actual Siege Giants will help out a lot to deal with some of the pressure that this Web Weaver does provide. Meanwhile, we can see that they are going to be dropping now blue Web Weavers. And while, yes, it is good to get the first one more often than not, sometimes it's not the best. Sometimes you do want to get to that second one because they do scale a little bit of time. It just depends on how well your team defends against those Web Weavers. You see Kael'thas has a little bit of a easier time clearing as they're not getting any pressure, but Lil Wolf, Rogoff, and Rift's just going to have a little bit of a more difficult time as there is a big block of people in front of him. Hey, Moore, hope you're doing well today. But we do now see that it is going to be pushing in under. Pink Blackout actually takes half their health almost in damage. They did get targeted by their fault. We see Collidus now coming up, flip onto Rogoff. We do see they're pushed into the back line. There's a follow-up. There's a lot of follow-up. A little bit too much overlapping there to kill Unicycle Yay. If you're a little bit later with the stun from Collidus or Little Wolf, you may have killed Unicycle Yay there. And into things like Diablo, who does have that soul shield, you do need to be careful about making sure you don't overlap that too much. You need as much of that CC chain as you can grab. Also, Anduin down is actually very unfortunate because now we can see Rogoff doesn't have a way out. He does squeeze his way around Nullius eventually, but that's 19 gems going down the drain. And that does put you a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to these gems, but it's not the end of the world. You do still have turn-in available at least, but we are seeing that it does bring quite a bit of happiness, does it? Unicycle Yay is a very good name, but we do see level 10s coming out from both sides. It is going to be High Five Lucio, Gust Felstad. We do even see that it is going to be the more often picked heroic from Mephisto. It's going to be that Durance of Hate. We're still having some thought process coming out from Joanna and Diablo. Diablo, imagine well, Diablo can go either way, but Joanna, I guess, was thinking about it. I guess we have to see what both teams are going to pick up in the end. But also, while that's all happening, you can see Top is being knocked down in the process, and this is very good aggression from Assistant Noob Manager. But Joanna's just going to go with a standard Blessed Shield. I guess she was looking to see if Wailing Arrow was picked or not. But we do also see Entomb, and I never know how I feel about Holy Word Salvation. You do have to be very careful with that tool. Unfortunately, it was a good Q, but that was from downtown onto Little Wolf. Gust finding them as well. Diablo uses that Lightning Breath. Little Wolf does save himself for a little bit, but we do see that Shade of Mephisto does get the kill. Actually, very uncommon you see the E getting the kill, but it did that time. Like, just a worse calamity in that regard, but it does work. But we do see now that turn-ins are still available for both teams. Pink Blackout getting a lot of damage onto Rift. Rift getting pinged, realizing they can't stay in turn-in. All while Collider's 32 gems left. Rift getting on out. And Simeon going, maybe I could chase that, but decides not to. Unicycle Yay turning in there 12. We can see now that, yeah, basically just need Nor to turn in? No, Pink Blackout, really. No single person has the turn-in. Eric with AK taking a lot. Forced out. Pink Blackout going to get in there 12 gems. 46 out of 55. So it needs to be Nor. Nullius doesn't have enough. Oh. Lucio goes down up top. That is unfortunate for them. But now see Pink Blackout is being forced, well, out. Ooh, Wailing Arrow doesn't quite find its target. If it did, that would have been a good kill on the Pink Blackout. We can see Unstoppable popped by Nullius. Collidus, you need to turn in. There's only so long that Eric with a K can stall out up here. Meanwhile, we do see that it is going to be that Pink Blackout going down. I need to close this. Collidus does get the turn in finally, and we do see them backing on up. I really need to be more onto it today. My sick brain is just going, just follow the action slowly as I just sluggishly move my camera around the map. See, Joanna does use Iron Skin. Also, Wailing Arrow is back up, not Wailing Arrow. I can't remember what it's called. Mind Control's back up, and actually, Lucio, I do like for high five. Lucio means it's much harder to get a consistent taunt off onto a target, because high five cooldown is essentially the same on any single target as it will be for anything else. Nice Mind Control. We do see the team gusted in, and that is going to be Rift being found. That Holy Word Salvation doing so well. It's not often you see it work out, but Little Wolf is finding excellent timing for these, and we can see that it is going to be Diablo going down, losing via Soulstone. And I don't know why you're backing out. You basically need this top building to balance things out if you are Spirit Ghost, but it does appear they are just going to knock over mid real quick. And this is what we like to see. I didn't know which way this map would go, but if we are going to get an upset, semi-finals will be a hell of a time to see the upset go on to Assistant Noob Manager. See that Joanna is in trouble now. Is stunned. Is taunting that is them going down. Black Arrows being used. Welcome line out. Mick Gibbous, by the way. But we do see that it is going to be Black Arrows using going down. Nice stun onto Leoric. Leoric is just going to meander out. Mind Control onto Pink Blackout, but they were in Wraith form. Eric with a K getting very low. We see Phoenix drops on top of the enemy team. And I do like that they're standing in to take the few shots of it. They don't want the building going down just like that. Or while we do see turn-in available for them, Rogoff, Eric with a K basically has it on themselves alone. Not quite, but basically. And we see Rift getting it in as well. And this is back-to-back turn-ins for the side Assistant Noob Manager. They're immediately back to bottom building. And, yeah, Assistant Noob Manager may need to... Sorry, this isn't... Spooky Ghost gets the back-to-back turn-ins. Assistant Noob Manager very much have to consider how this game is going. Go, okay, what do we need to do to fix this? Yeah, I'll bring up talents just for you now, more. So we are actually getting a Spooky Hand, Spooky Ghost from Eric with a K. But that's the thing that I did imagine we'd see. It does well into both Joanna and Diablo. It's like, what's his name again? You can't really interrupt that hand once it's off you, but no, we can see that aggression coming out. There is just going to need to be strong defense in all lanes. Think back out, getting what damage you can, but do back out. I do have to say, though, variant comps do start falling off a little once we get to that 16 point. And as we can see, Falstad's actually stacking very well. We can see, Mephisto very scary in the late game. We can see now Lucio does go down, hit with that Entomb hit with that mind control, and that's them down just like that. Taunt on Unicycle Yay under their own towers, and they're still losing almost all their health. We do see that the oncoming tide that is Assistant Noob Manager, that is Spooky Ghost, is trying to be slowed down by Assistant Noob Manager, and apparently I read one comment about teams being the other way around, and I've gotten myself confused today. So yeah, this is tense for the team, so to speak. As we do, I don't think they're used to having this aggression play into them. And it is refreshing to see. It's almost refreshing to see the team a little bit struggling. They're really being put to the test now. So I like to see how they overcome it. They do need to start playing together a little bit more. We do see they did get first turn in, but as I said, sometimes you don't even want that first turn in. As from the two that Spooky Ghost got, they've been able to control the map very efficiently from it. Oh, Leoric may be a suitable target. Not quite in range of Nullius. I think that's the time you use the Blessed Shield and see what you can do. I think at this point... Oh, Rift does rip that mind control. Yeah, sure, it's a 40-second cooldown, but if it found someone, that would have been great. Unfortunately, it didn't. And now we can see... Yep, Smarter Pink Blackout going around the long way. Game 3 Towers of Doom, come on. We'll see more, we'll see. Right, we are marching slowly up the lane with that Web Weaver. Flame Strike being used by Collider, seeing what they can catch. Game 3 should be... No. No, Valk. You've been given your chance, Valkymer. Do not test me. No, more, do not support it. Do not support the Towers of Doom. But yeah, we can see this is once again a very good defense coming out from Spooky Ghost. I think Pink Blackout getting choked in that draft was actually quite harmful for them. Nice micro Unicycle Yay gets high five, but we can now see both them and Simeon in. Gust being used by Nor, good disengage tool. Diablo with that Lightning Breath, but once again, Anduin, every time that Lightning Breath comes out, Anduin goes, okay, cool. I can use the Salvation. I can make sure my team doesn't die. And Salve was a great pickup here into Diablo's Lightning Breath. It's not often I say that Salvation was a great pick, but not Unicycle Yay. Little Wolf is absolutely killing it with those. Lol, I support... You can support what you want. I'm just going to tell you it's bad. It's a bad idea. Or not a bad idea. I can just tell you that it's a bad take. But we do see that both teams don't quite have hand-ins yet. Both are getting pretty close. Eric of K is about to respawn, I would like to note. They are going to step up. Once again, they are leading Eric of K a little bit further through than they should have. That minus spell armor and Eric of K losing 50% of their health in that one small moment. They don't have ghost mode up now. Pull from Anduin, but Rogoff and Rift in a little bit of separate spots. Micro coming up, there's for high five. Unicycle, yeah, if they so choose, can just keep themselves out of that Entomb. But we do see Soul Armor was popped to the Willoski. Where's my VIP? No. Phoenix being popped there. Oh, Diablo charges Sylvanas. Sylvanas did use Will of Forsaken there. Eric of K losing a lot of their health once again. And we can see now that Assistant Noob Stop spreading bombs. Assistant Noob Manager is really starting to come online. As I said, once we get to this mid to late game, that's where their team does really well. Their early game is beatable. Their late game is much, much harder. And we do see it's going to be another Web Weaver phase, and they're actually now on top of their lanes. They may actually be able to get... Oh, Rift. Rift, do not step up more. Rift, do not step up more. Nullia steps up. Blessed Shield out. You see that stun, and that is Rift taking a lot of damage. They get pulled by Anduin at the same time as they do dash out, and the Lightning Breath does actually get its value this time. No Anduin Holywood Salvation this time around to save anyone. That's not what you want. We do see the dash over wall, double pull used, so that's Little Wolf now out of pulls. They do get flipped, but nice taunt by Rogoff. Little Wolf does have their ult cancelled. They're pushing to the corner. I don't think they can get out of that one. They can, barely. There's just too much split focus from the side of there's too much split focus by Assistant Noob Manager where they were able to get out. That was not quite what they wanted. That is very unfortunate, well, very fortunate for the team of Spooky Ghost, but we can see now that Leoric did go down late in that fight as well. But Eric of K at least is getting the active drain off. They are making sure they can come back as soon as possible. Give me a moment. I'm going to do something in the background. Oh, I can do it when we're not actually actively in the game. Especially because it's not working now. Cool. And we do see that is going to be the Web Weaver going down. And that is putting yourselves into a pretty good position where you were needing that pressure off you. And now Assistant Noob Manager is in a position where, well, yeah, they're now the ones in charge of the game. And that is exactly where they wanted to be, considering how rough it was up until this point. But again, that's the problem with variant comps. It does make things difficult.
Metal spiders, destroy them. Deliver the gems of power to my army.
And let me go back to this. Yeah, I know he was dead. He's just slowly bringing himself back. Okay, no, I see what you mean now. I've missed it. But no, we do now see it as turn-in from Spooky Ghost. And this should help even things up. But there's a lot of macro pressure on them where I don't even know if they'll get a building at this point. We see Unicycle Ye getting aggressive on the Rogoff. We do see Root coming out, and that is a ladder on him. But 75 spell armor is 75 spell armor. Nor goes in. There's the wind tunnel. That's the wind tunnel you want to see if you're Nor. And we do see a lot of damage coming out. Little Wolf trying to lightly jog out. That's them going down. We see Taunt onto Nullius, but that's not going to save Varian. There was Lightning Breath. Unicycle Ye nearly actually died through it. Yeah. But those Web Weavers are actually making it so, even though that was a bad fight for Spooky Ghosts, Assistant Noob Manager can't actually end there. They did have to back out. Which is very fortunate for Spooky Ghosts in that regard. So this map will go on. Also want to note the heroics. We do see Eric MK backing up, by the way. We do see it is Radiating Faith, Joanna, Mixing Fire, Lucio, Wind Tunnel as always. On the Fell Start, we do see that it is Mimic and Hellgate rounding things out from the two Lords of Terror respectively. On the other side of things, we do see that it's Flamethrower, Kalphis, Glory to Stormwind? Light of Stormwind? Interesting. Anduin has been getting a lot of them off on full cooldown, but it looks like the team of Assistant Noob Manager is adapting to be a bit more onto it. Also, we can see Boss Call being done now. Fortunately, top 4 keepers up on both sides, so it's not going to be easiest to take over. Also, I want to note that it is going to be the Taunt upgrade. Not often you do see that is... I don't even know what's called. I'm not going to pretend. It's not often you do see Vigilance, but yeah, that is a good... I do like the pickup, actually. Auto attack heroes onto a Varian... There's a lot of auto attacks coming in already, and Varian can do well, especially Lucio does help out that cooldown reduction. And we do see it is going to be Buried Alive and Dark Lady's Call on Rift. And that Mind Control upgrade is insane, if you ask me, just having it so much. But of course, the most insane of all upgrades still to this day to me will be Wind Tunnel. It's very hard to overcome that. We do see Bruiser Camp pushing Biz while this boss is top. And we do see both teams very much fishing for something more. We do see Eric with a K just backing up in that Wraith Walk form. And this core is now in trouble. Not in trouble, but definitely not in the position they wanted to be. And we see the Drain coming out onto him. There's the high 5. And that is an excellent entomb. But Wind Tunnel once again saving the day. That's why you gotta love Wind Tunnel. A 60-second cooldown to say no thank you to anyone. That is crazy to me. Look what this is doing while this is happening. It's pushing all the way in. Right. Just so people... More. I want you to type in chat !more with a capital M. But we do now see that people are starting to step up. We do see Blind coming out onto Eric with a K. And Pink Blackout just trying to see who's there. And they find... Oh, wait. Just Eric? What the hell? Now Rogoff has been found. And we do see everyone backing up. Wait a minute. Sorry, I'm out of chat again. Right. And now we just get the good old, let's run around and see what happens for a little bit. I'm just gonna, let's just follow both teams every now and again. We see them clearing waves. Camp is up for Assistant Noob Manager, so we should see that one done shortly. But there is going to be... Excellent, it works. But we do see waves are going to be cleared up. And we do see Eric with a K coming down to clear the wave. That's what I was doing. I specifically decided to tab out of stream just to do that. But now we do see that it is going to be just a slow play around the table. The thing is, assistant new manager is going to have them have the turn-in up first. They are getting very close, actually, falling 10 shy so far. Meanwhile, we can see Spooky Ghost is going to be, for one, Spooky Ghosts are going to have to be the ones to react sooner rather than later. Oh, it's such a slow play. They needed to take more. I voted for you, so I'm very hurt by that. But we do see they are going to be taking their time with things. I'm going to pull up stats while this is all happening, as we're just getting the poke wars come on out. Very good hero damage done by Cal for 74k, and we do see that it is going to be Mephisto rounding things out on the other side for 64k themselves. We do see that it is going to be Eric with a K found. Bruh, no, team isn't on. You're welcome. We do see Eric with a K Ghost walking on out, but this is where turn-in is now available for the side of Assistant New Manager. You can't give up this much space. We can see the bottom right is glowing, so they are going to need to be on top of things now. Also, good healing by Lucio, by the way. 67k compared to 71k Anduin, but Anduin did have it available. Alright, let me close that, because we are very much, which is again, getting very close to seeing what happens. And we see both teams just watching it. Rift trying to get turn-in, wasn't able to. I'm forgetting my buttons. Me, you, crush it. Fair. I didn't even vote for myself. It felt very dishonest voting for myself. I don't know. I just like being honest with my votes, and I just don't like voting for myself. It doesn't feel right to me. We do see Eric with a K gets 25 gems in. There's a taunt, there's a mic control. Nice iron skin, and just like that, that engage is over. But the thing is, Rogoff almost has taunt back. That's how many auto attacks they took in that time. Nor trying to sneak things in above. Rift does find them, and is going to make sure they can't. And mind control's back up already as well, so that whole combo is now back up and available. Meanwhile, we can see turn-in happening on bottom. Flamethrower just being in directly the right position. And we can see, yeah, red team now does actually have pressure on their core, and they realize they need to react to that. And I don't know if they have the time to. I can't remember who I voted for co-cast and also. I like watching my cast. I hope I vote but no, that's fair. Oh, Microtron finding Lucio, and that kill may be it. Wind Tunnel sure comes out, but no one's been split from the rest of their team. Little Wolf barely holding outside. Unicycle Yay knew what was coming that time. Little Wolf is in trouble. They will be the ones going down. Pink Blackout, however, goes down to the Living Bomb. Rogoff looks to be next on the chopping block, however. They're living as long as they can, but they will eventually go down to that. But now you need to deal with this Web Weaver pushing in top. That is something not really available for them. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel weird about voting for myself. I don't know why, I just do. But yeah, this map will be going on longer than a little bit expected, so we are getting into the 25-minute mark. So these, by all means, should be game-ending Web Weavers, but with how well both teams are playing defensively, it hasn't been. Oh, there's Phoenix being dropped. There's the Entomb. Iron Skin can't actually save you out of that one. Mind Control on top of Joanna. Nullius taking these out, but Rift took so much of that instance that Nullius gets to live. I imagine if Rift did have a little bit more healing, a little more health at that time, or if the Anduin was up, they'd be very inclined to go in. So very fortunate for Nullius there to hold on. And this is actually a phase where we see no fort or keeps go down. Very good defense from the side assistant new manager, and especially because they almost got the kill on Joanna. Unfortunately, they didn't. This may fall down to a... I don't believe it is closed yet, Velcoma. I can't check right now, sorry. But I don't believe so. But yes, we do see it. Both teams are... I don't know about starting the boss. I don't actually know about starting the boss. This is risky. This is very risky for the side of Spooky Ghost. I'd like to see assistant new managers either A, read it, or B, just go core. Especially because Felstad has Wind Tunnel. I never know about stepping in if there's a Wind Tunnel available. Step away from Unicycle. Yeah, yep, we do see boss is leashed. Very unfortunate that much value has gone. And no, we do see Little Wolf did go for an early salvation. It was cancelled out, and that is the one closing fight that you need to see. That is 3 kills now for the side of Assistant Noob Manager. Rift and Collidus left. They are going to back out. I don't even think we need a boss call in it, to be fair. I think you just end if you're Assistant Noob Manager, because this game has gone on far longer than you want it to be, and you don't want the chance for everyone to come back and defend boss, because they've already shown that, yeah, single target damage in terms of clear, Assistant Noob Manager do really well. But this may be all she wrote for this map number 1, as the teams are pushing it in. We do see it, core is quickly going down. Rift pushed back into their core, actually stunned him there. Oh, I don't think they get the Rift kill in time. No, they do not. But that looks like it'll be the first map of this series going over to the side of Assistant Noob Manager. Not quite the 30-minute blowout we expected, but hey, it is going to be a excellent first map. Well played, both teams. Right. Yeah, very good stuff. As we can see in terms of actual stats, it was very well done. Kael'thas actually had most siege for the... Okay, by 2k. Kael'thas technically had the most siege for the side. This isn't New Magic. Next to Leoric comes 173 to 175 between those two. Falstad actually had 232k, but there was double soaking going on between those two. We see siege 22k on the Joanna, 20k on... Sorry, so 22k on the... Joanna and 20k on Leoric. Hero damage, Kael'thas 102k, Mephisto 83, so very close to both of them, and both healer Lucio and Anduin Light. Just 4k difference, 86k compared to 82k respectively. In terms of talents, everyone has very similar talent. Yeah, everything's a relatively standard. Wind Tunnel always insane whenever it turns up. You can expect it, you can expect it to be very close in those regards. Grand finals, and I'll consider it. But yeah, Wind Tunnel was good. I do think it was an interesting pickup for Little Wolf there on the Holy Word Salvation. While I do like it at level 10, I don't know if a level 20 was really, I don't know if a level 20 was necessary. I think maybe you may have still gotten more value from things such as Censure, especially into Diablo who's charging at you, especially into things such as Felstar who's diving behind you, Mephisto who's wanting to do damage. It can very much make it easier if you are going to get that double stun off, especially if you're already piercing light at level 4. But I do like both comps. Both comps did very well, and it could have, as we all saw, it could have gone either way. Just eventually, as I said, kind of early on, Spooky Ghost did take an early advantage, but once that level 16 came around, that it kind of fell to the wayside, and that's very unfortunate for the team. But right, let me actually remember to tick off that it was Assistant Noob Manager who won map number 1. And let me swap it on over to this screen here when I remember how OBS works. It's always so often, bruh, you're going to cast B West Finals. I'm going to try. It depends what day B West Finals are scheduled. If it's scheduled for a Friday or Saturday, I will certainly try. That's what Lee sort of said. So, whoever wins this map, and I guess Finn said, just do a Friday, Saturday, man. I can do Friday and Saturdays more often. I'm only doing it today because I'm sick. No, let's get rid of that real quick. Where's my actual Firefox? There it is. Let's just ban. Ruglord, I nearly instantly banned you. Ruglord. I'm going to be honest. That was very close to me just going, no, gone. So, yeah, lucky you didn't. Right, I don't actually know what the next... I'm actually just gonna, I'm gonna delete it. I know you guys are memeing, but I do not want that shitting up the chat, mate. A good place for us to get into a taunt mentality. Little things like shot calling, calling targets, or cleaning up objectives, whether or not they'll be on the map or ones we make themselves. We'll just make sure that we're all on the same page. And I guess that kind of asks the question as well of how did your final quarter match final prepare your semi-final, your coastal semi-final? We do see that Nullius did say that there are very different teams here, so not too much will carry over. Simply getting reps and getting feedback scouting will be helpful, and somehow we've been able to build upon. We're able to predict LTK's desired hero lineup with a lot of accuracy, which helps a lot. So I do think we'll be seeing a very similar thing here. Volsky, yeah. That's a lot of yards, dude. I'm just going to say caster is ready. So when everyone else is ready, yeah, they'll see that. And I guess I'll save the last question to just after the draft and just before we get in the game. So I guess you'll have to stay tuned to see what each of the captains think the best ice cream flavor is. Thank you more for subscribing. But yes, I'll be very interested to see what each team thinks will be the best. What is the best ice cream? Is big support. You know what? No, Valkyma, I turned it off. Valkyma, I turned it off for that exact reason. More has simmered down about the VIP thing at the moment. So they are able to, so they're not going to get punished at the moment. Yeah, I need to fix some of my emotes, by the way. A lot of them broken. What was my favorite species? I don't know. I never thought about what my favorite species of crustacean are, I'm going to be honest. But right, I'm going to get into the draft. Sorry, it is going to be question time over. Let's see how this draft goes, shall we? Right. First ban is going to be going over the side of the... Speaking. Ants aren't crustacean. What? Okay, I'm ignoring you two. You two just bicker in the chat. I'll mute you if I need to. But what is going to be the first ban is the very good question. Spooky Ghost, what are we going to see? And it's going to be once again Zagara. I imagine we're going to see Li Ming on this map as well. Li Ming, very good on this map. There's a lot of open space. It's one of those times where you can just kind of yeet in orbs from the side and get a lot of value. But I don't know if we'll necessarily see that. It just will be a thing to note. There was actually a sub on the side of Assistant Noob Manager. We do see Shrinks now in, and it was Nullius being subbed out. Blaze banned once again. So we're getting very... Ruglord, please don't. What the hell? Got it. Sorry, just saying Gimme More getting auto-reported is the funniest thing. More, be honest with me. Were you replying to Ruglord or were you just calling me that? You have one chance to get that message through. Also, we do see that it is Li Ming going to be banned out on the other side. Oh, I'll allow it anyway. I'll allow it anyway, More. You get allowed it this once. But we do see that it's going to be Joanna banned out this time. So they don't want the first pick Joanna coming out. They don't have Nullius back in, so they don't necessarily have the same person playing it. In the off lane, may as well get rid of it now, but we may see something like Vala. We may see something like Vala get picked up here. I would like to see that. Or, Dahaka isn't even really good on this map. We don't need to see it get banned. She has to, no. We do see Sylvanas being picked up once again. Kalidas did very well the first time, and if you're banning out Pink Blackout, that's actually a very good choice. However, we may see Vala getting picked up instead this time. You got auto-banned for one message. Calm. Breathe. More just breathe in, breathe out. You're doing great. No, we do see that Sylvanas was picked up. And what is going to be the first two for the side of New Mansion? We see Anduin and Vala being the choices here. Pink Blackout wanting to make sure they didn't get choked again this time, making sure they are having something they are more often. Okay, I'm not muting that one. That one's on you. Robots are rising up. They're learning to ban words. Right, but what do we see as the second and third pick for this is a new magic? We see Leoric and Diablo. So I do like Diablo on this map. He can be a little iffy sometimes, especially objective number 1 and 3 are quite rough for him. Objective number 2, Diablo's happy. Objective number 1, a bit spread out. Objective number 3, man, that's a big objective. Albeit, I guess some people don't even count the objective as being necessary here. So yeah, I guess we have to see how that goes. And Brightwing is actually banned out next. Little Wolf not being able to play the Little Fairy Dragon. Right. And it was Felstar banned out next, which, you know what, considering how that went, that is entirely reasonable. Garrosh picked up. I do like it on objective point things. You are free. I freed you. Stop complaining. Automod banned you for, like, modded one message. You can keep talking if Automod stops you from saying one message. But we do also see Nazebo picked up, which is definitely a little bit of an interesting one. A lot of spell damage there. I imagine we may see auto attack from Pink Blackout then. No, she actually quite likes her Q build, if I recall correctly.
With every death comes honor. With honor, redemption.
And we see Hanzo and Lucio picked up right at the end for Rift and Little Wolf, respectively. So, you know what? They're doing very well. I do like the comp here. Eric with a K did do very well in Leoric last time around. Diablo is always scary. Sylvanas, Kalidas did well. Interesting to see Lucio on the other team this time, and Hanzo does Hanzo things. Offlane, Tahaka. As I said earlier, I actually don't know how I feel about Tahaka in this map. I don't think it's necessarily a great map for him. It's quite sporadic in terms of bush cover. There's enough options for you to get around, but it's quite sporadic in that nature. There doesn't seem to be any switches this time around. So what I'm going to do is going to throw it back over the map view screen, and we'll just chill for a little bit while we see what we come up with. But I guess I'll bring up one last thing now, and it was what was the best ice cream flavor? What do we think Nullius said? Nullius, what did you say? Coffee gelato. Which actually tastes like coffee smells. But I've been repeatedly told that it's cookies and cream. So it's either coffee gelato or cookies and cream ice cream, one of the two. And for Little Wolf, they say black sesame. Oh, we're getting bougie over here with Little Wolf. Okay, but no, ice cream aside, we do have a map available to us, so let's have a look and see how this one goes for both teams. I nearly pushed the wrong button. Whoops. So, getting into it for this second map, hopefully not the last, but the second map, we do see it's going to be Rift Hanzo. Eric K is on the Hanzo. What's it say? Eric K is on the Leoric, not Hanzo. Kalidas is then on the Sylvanas. Little Wolf on the Lucio. Rogoff is on that Diablo. On the other side, we do see that it is going to be Simeon, Anduin, Shrinks, Tahaka. Look, Pink Blackout is there on the Vala, nor Nazebo just going to yeet those spiders. This is like extended range, very interesting to see. And we do see it's going to be ratified out by Unicycle Yay on the Garrosh. So it is definitely going to be, yeah, it is Finger the Deep on Nazebo. We do also see Q build Vala. And let's say Soul Shield on Diablo means Rogoff will be very hard to kill coming into the later game. We do see him flipped over. Soul Shield popped already. Choosing the spell armor already doing enough. A little short charge by Rogoff as they add a lot of damage here. Vala already had 2 Q stacks. Good start from him. Also, thing I want to note is the last things to note is going to be the tissue regeneration to Haka. So definitely make sure a little bit bulkier in terms of things. I would like to see the spell damage one of them as well, but the spell armor W on them, but it doesn't matter too much. The last thing to note is going to be Hanzo already at 10 stacks of that W build. Impressive, you're getting it quickly, done that quickly, I guess I should try to say, instead of talking without thinking. Pink Blackout doing what damage they can. Yeah, this is the early game, so we're going to be kind of chill for a little. Very quick on the camp. Good stuff by both Pink Blackout and Simeon. You do want to pick those camps up early so you can potentially get a second one part way through the objective if needed. See, Leoric is going to be starting their own one, but imagine Eric of K is not wanting to be here for long. We do see Colliders takes over. Rift is here as well. And it's done not too long after the camp of Assistant New Manager. Good stuff by Spooky Ghosts. Close this for a little bit. I don't know why I'm closing it now. I'm about to get level 4, so may as well leave it open. But yes, it's a very good start from those two teams to be vigilant on that camp. Pink Blackout taking a few arrows directly to the butt. Not quite where you want those arrows, but hey, Hunter's got to get his stacks somehow. Oh, Unicycle Ye has tossed a rogue off. And they're going to get hit by 2 Qs. A little bit slow in the stacking now, Vala, but that is inherently going to happen. Nor just pushing it down with Nazebo. I do like Nazebo a lot. I wish he was a little less situational. By all means, this Cubo definitely makes him less situational. It's very rare now to see that Thing of the Deep, but I guess you don't necessarily want to be in range of half these heroes, so you may as well try to stay out of said range. But Nor is already at 30 stacks, so it's a very good start for them. Oh, throw already used. Unicycle Ye didn't quite find the target they wanted, and now we can see the push coming in. Sure, points being unlocked, but it doesn't matter. Alright, Rift, you don't want to necessarily take that. Lucio pushes off Unicycle Ye. Unicycle Ye just walking up, as one of my friends would just say, bulldogging it, just trying to make sure you get up there as quick as possible and see what you can do. It did save the towers at least, but very much this is going to turn into a game of, if you can get the towers down, you survive a lot more if you are Spooky Ghosts. Garrosh is kind of like how Varian works. Garrosh works as one of those heroes where I want to win early, hard enough early, where we're not going to have to worry late. And Unicycle Ye is being a little bit harassed at the moment through their play. Oh, they've been dismounted again. And I think if you're fine if your Hans are getting thrown over, you're fine if your Lucio getting thrown over. It's not the end of the world, but if you're like, actually these 3 are probably the best to get thrown over. You'll take a few shots, sure, but you're not dead if you get taken out. You do have those escapes. Oh, Little Wolf backing out at the perfect time. Unicycle Ye nearly caught it out. Little Wolf just happened to move right as Unicycle Ye was wanting to push in, but now we do see it's a spot that, well, Spooky Ghosts have a spot before. You can see it's going the other way around. Rogoff does get found right at the last second. Little Wolf in trouble. We do see they're taking a lot and go down to the end. You can't quite heal through all that burst, and Anduin actually found the kill there. Yeah, it's quickly going down. And now this is relatively even, much like last time. Leoric stalling out what they can there at 92%. They did step off for a little, so for Eric, I think you just kind of mosey on away. Both teams have 7s, as you can see on the screen. So we do have Vala going into the full Q build, which is definitely interesting. I guess it does have a little bit of bonus. Does it have bonus against vehicles? I don't think so. I'd have to test. Okay, chat, do you know, does this work on their Protector? Because it's technically not a heroic target. It's technically not either of those 3. Oh, slammed a wall by Unicycle Ye. Unicycle Ye now in trouble. Body block. Little Wolf to go for a boot, but unfortunately they didn't quite get the right person. Oh, imagine if Entomb was there as well. Unicycle Ye getting body blocked by Rogoff. That Garrosh is in a rough spot, but they are ultimately going to be fine. Tongue finds Little Wolf. The stun from Rogoff actually helping him get out. Eric of K is the one getting low, and that will be both offlaners going down at the same time. Pink Blackout getting a lot of damage into here. However, a few of them had actually hit the turret. And now we just see it's quest. That is going to be the quest getting stacks, but that's going to be the objective going over to the side of Assistant. No, Spooky Ghost. That is where you want to be if you're Spooky Ghosts. But I say that, this is actually alright. I know it's where you're going, oh, it's alright if your Assistant Noob manages for this to happen. You get to stack off the objective. If you're Pink Blackout, this is a pretty easy target to get more Qs on. If you if you're Anduin, yeah, I guess you can get at least one hit off it. Q, E, Q, yup, there's 2 more stacks. You can see that Pink Blackout is very much using this objective to scale, so to speak. And I do like what Spooky Ghosts have used here. Oh, I was looking at the objective too long. I do like what Assistant New Manager have done here. They've very much just opened up all this front area where they don't have to worry as much about being thrown over the wall. See, both teams do have level 10s now, so... Oh, that vehicle's just parked. Diablo finally gets out of the car, and it blows up. Doors stepping up a little bit. They're standing in front of a wall, which is not quite where you want to be. Unicycle Yay just standing a little bit out of vision, but Rift does throw a arrow down there to see what is up. Hero Yay just walking up, doing a little bit of clear, smacking the minions, gonna go down. Yeah. Right now, touch on level 10s is most of our teams are picked, and we see it's Decimate, Garrosh, and Win has gone Light Bomb. So we're back. Unfortunately, no salvation for this game. We're going back to a more normal heroic choice. I do note they have now finished their Finger of the Deep, so 10% extra spell power is going to help out a lot for a lot of this game. Other things to note is we do see that it is going to be the Gargantuan on the Zero, so we have Garrosh, Gary, and Gargantuan Gary. We also see that there's going to be Rain of Vengeance on Vala and Isolation to Haka. Rogoth barely out of Unicycle Yade's range. We do see they are going to hug him for this now. That is Root coming out. That is Vim just standing very still. Nice Freeman stun by Vahanzo. When the arrow coming out, Rogoth isolated as well. Light Bomb. Rogoth is just under a lot of pressure in that regard, taking so much damage. While the arrow did try to save him, but didn't quite do the time. We do see that there's also going to be the Entomb Leoric Sound Barrier Lucio. Not often you see that. I do think almost High Five would have been better for this. We do see it's going to be Apoc, Diablo, and as we said, Dragon Arrow coming out from the Hanzo. Yeah, I do like all these choices in terms of what talents are being picked up. Nothing too strange. I do see we have a Decimate fan in chat of Valkymer. Why? I do understand Decimate can be good in a Finger of a Deep. What do you mean Finger of a Deep face palm? Finger of a Deep can do very... Oh, Eric of the has been caught out. Lucio's there, however, to help. Rift is also there to help out, so ultimately they're fine. Diablo even started rotating down. Yes, I believe you are right. Gravitas. Gravitastrophe. I think it's Gravitastrophe. I believe you're right. It does crown as a heroic target for things such as stacking. So you're probably correct in the regard that it's probably not Monster Hunter. And we do see Nor is going to be the one under pressure. There's no... Simeon's being held out by Rogoth to make sure they can't get the pull onto them. Pink Blackout once again getting a few more stacks each time. We do see they are forced outwards. Stun coming out doesn't quite find Eric with a K. Eric with a K just going to rotate all the way down. Decimate is literally the high winner. Yeah, but... Okay, are we talking about in NGS or are we talking about in general, in uncoordinated play? Collidus is staying a little bit too long. Ooh. Hi, Butte. Hope you're doing well. One day I'll have you on to cast for me, Goddess of Heals. One day I will. I forgot to ask today because I thought I was going to have someone else, but they're a little bit busy still. We do see Unicycle Yay is the one in just trying to run up. We see Decimate just spinning aggressively at them, but doesn't quite get there. And this second objective is going to be started by Assistant New Manager. We do see Q roll by Pink Blackout. Not going to quite get more on them, but ultimately going to be fine. I half expect to see a DM sometimes with a screenshot of me just being there. We do see Nort. Oh, no, Nort. Oh, there's a little bit of counter synergy there. Rogoth pushes Nort out of the Entomb, but we do see Norris just kind of stalling out the timer, so to speak, and they do go down. Yes. Most of these games are seeming to go on level 20 though. And I do, yep, I do, as I say, I do want to see Black Arrows being used and just pushing Pink Blackout, getting a few more stacks in the meantime. We're at 20 now. They are starting to get up there, and it's really going to start coming in when they get that, level thing. I can let it. Okay, I'd have to check later. I don't know now. I can't check right now. But we see Dragon Arrow coming out as Garrosh coming Sun vs Isolation coming out onto Diablo. Diablo going to be alright, however, as the beat drop was dropped. And really, the only kill to come out was the kill on Nor before the fight even began. So, even with a 4v5, it's very even between the two teams. It's going to be scarier when the Zero gets into that late game, because they're just 24 shy of having their quest available, their level 20 quest up, which I think is Violent Fiction. Yes, it is Violent Fiction. And now we see everyone's chased off. Garrosh standing with objective once again. Gonna be fine. In all honesty, we do... Oh. Nice stun onto Shrinks. No damage dealers with the team, however... Oh. Hi, Collidus. Yeah. I guess that's that. What else to say there? Stun onto Rift. Rift taking some spiders. But spell power does actually add up a fair bit. People do question it sometimes, but it does do pretty well. Rogue off. Oh, pushes onto Unicycle Yay. Does get on the objective in time. You can see that the fight will be breaking out. Unicycle Yay taking a decent amount. We do see that there's going to be Rogue off stun. Dragon Arrow coming through. Hits just Simeon. Very rude onto Simeon. That is going to be a lot of damage on Eric of K, but it's Eric of K going down first. Now we can see the team choosing to retreat. Rain of Vengeance only fighting Rogue off. We can see Beat Drop trying to keep Rift and Collidus alive, and it does happen to work out. They do get to live. Oof. Cutting it close each time for Spooky Ghost. It's such a hard thing to fight into. You can see Nor is nearly done with their quest as well, so it's going to be very rough for them. It's going to be very rough for Spooky Ghost. So Say is, well, that level 20 does hurt. Now, Assistant New Manager, if you could throw for content, that'd be great. No, I'm never going to endorse throwing for anything. I do very much want competitive integrity to stay intact, whether it be in Storm League or whether it be in competitive environments such as this. And oh, and spell armor popped by Rogoff. Rogoff will be fine in the end. Meanwhile, we do see rotation coming out. Shrink's already left. Thank you, Butte. Greatly appreciate. We do see now the rotation back up onto the objective. Naz did drop Gargantuan on the fort. That will go down pretty quick. Piercing Arrow from Hanzo always does take things down quickly. And we do see it is going to be Spooky Ghost build from Leoric. Well, I did it. I accidentally called the team by a name that they're choosing, huh? And this predictor is pushed all the way back. It is basically out of time. It's out of percent. Oh, Shrinks now is in a rough spot. Rogoff has ran the line where Shrinks won't quite be able to get out as easily. Isolation on Sylvanas. That won't matter too much as there's still Shrinks between a rock and a hard place, and Tomb does make sure they can't get anywhere else. And once again, we see everyone holding on. Oh, Anduin barely caught out there. That's very unfortunate that the Wailing Arrow cannot find the silence onto Unicycle Yay in time, because that may have been a very dead Anduin on the other hand. Now we see that is Rogoff going to be thrown in. And it feels like that Assistant New Manager, Spooky Ghost are trying to force a lot of these fights once they get a person. Even if it's not favorable. Sure, Black Arrows and Black Arrows and Beat Drop to get Rogoff alive, but if you didn't have those, well, of course, if you didn't have those tools, they wouldn't live. I don't think Beat Drop actually quite found Rogoff. It found everyone but Rogoff. Rogoff took a lot of damage during that time. They got to live, fortunately, thank you to the Black Arrows, but man, is that... They're finding this advantage, but they're almost wasting it each of these times, and they just need to find a way to make sure they capitalize on these advantages and not go down with the ship. Or not, sink their own ship, maybe, is a better way to put it. Yeah, that's probably better. Eric of K goes scouting on ahead. Doesn't quite find anyone trying to push in. But we now see, oh, Nor again. Friendly throw coming out. Nor runs up, however. Oh, Rogoff has found Shrinks. Does get isolated. This is a pre-20 fight, so this is a good idea for the side of... So because we do see Unicycle Yay taking a lot, but it's going to be Savant's going to first. Little Wolf picks up the healing beacon. Does drop it. We can see heals coming on out as much as they can. But at this point, you just need speed to get your team out, my friend. You are already in a rough spot for this fight. Sure, you guys are all healthy. But you're down Sylvanas, and Sylvanas is your main way to deal with Unicycle Yay. But they didn't even pick for percent damage at 1. They went, oh no, they did. I'm misremembering the Sylvanas play. Sylvanas map number 1 went Q build. Now we do see that it is going to be Overwhelming Affliction this time around. Pushing in, and once again we see these level 20s through. Nor does have Vile Infection done. They do give it building down, and that's scary. That's a scary combo between Decimate with that minus health, minus damage, and Nazebo with that Vile Infection. It does so much in terms of that extra damage. And now we see them pushing into gate. Other things to note, I do see Censure Anduin, gonna be Volt Vala, and rounding things out, Acrobat Vala, sorry. Yeah, rounding things out is going to be Contagion. Little Wolf is the one trouble, does push off. Wailing Arrow barely dodged by Pink Blackout, but Nazebo is the one stuck in the middle of things. This is a pre-20 fight, by the way, for the side of Spooky Ghost. I don't know if it's necessarily a good idea, but they are defending their fort. Their fort has only just gotten touched now. They do get to live it.
Control the terminal and bring in the protector.
Alright, we do see now bottom objective is being started by some new manager, but Shrink's now for one in trouble, and that is not the time you want to die. And we see, well, we have is a little bit of time. If you are assistant new manager, may as well push where you want. We see that the building is going to start being dropped, and it's actually going to be dropped pretty quickly. And in fact, we may even see them want to push onto keep.
Red team has destroyed the fort.
I would just go keep top, in all honesty. It looks like Nazebo is trying to go keep bottom, however, balance things out, make sure they are getting value in the meantime. See now that you see the team of assistant new manager fanning out. They're wanting to make sure not too much is lost. Nor is backing just out of vision, so that's going to be fine. They realize that's the case, don't actually go after Nor. They're wanting now this bottom building to even things out for when the objective once again gets started. Right, building just about down. Unicycle Yay spinning at Rogoff. Rogoff will ultimately be fine, however. And we're still in a pretty good position where, well, Dahaka can burrow in as needed. Also, I want to note 23 real quick. We do see Savannah's went bottom of the storm. We do see Hellgate Diablo, so the two teleports being picked up. Silence and Tomb. Silence and Tomb, buried alive, always scary. We'll see Bullseye Hanzo. So Hanzo is actually that full combo build. And Bossa Nova Lucio. I guess it is a lot of quick burst damage, so Bossa Nova makes sense. And with how these teamfights play out, they can end pretty quickly as well. So you can have a lot of engages, disengages, engages, disengages. But very much being questionable either way. Eric of K goes Wraith walking up to Unicycle Yay, realizing no one's in range for them to actually punish, and decides to back up. I do like Dahaka picking up their camps in the offlane area now that we're here. They are playing it a little bit slow. Appears they are going to be burrowing down now. We can see they're in that bottom bush there. And Collider's playing very passive now. They're not wanting to quite get caught out by Unicycle Yay. And this is a very spread out fight. Let me actually zoom all the way out. We see Collidus and Unicycle Yay staring at each other. The fight is surely about to break out as we can see everyone migrating downwards. Unicycle Yay getting very aggressive into everyone. Arrow comes through, doesn't find its target. And we do see a comboed onto Darker. That is a good pull onto them, however, and we can see now that it's done onto Unicycle Yay. Unicycle Yay in the middle of the whole team, just decimating. The percent damage is a lot to deal. We do see it is going to be the tank down, Lyric down first. Then we see Garrosh coming out. Rogoff getting healed back up. Little Wolf does have that percent healing. Rejuvenecia at level 16 does a lot. Shrinks is pushed into the wall, but we see Rogoff once again is the one in danger. Rift doing what damage they can, and Rogoff eating what healing damage they can. Unfortunately, they shoved right as Collider decided to go in, but we see that it is Dahaka going down first. Here comes the beat drop at Bossa Nova once again back up. Pull onto Nor. Nor very low. I don't think they're going to get out of this one safely, no, but Rogoff taking a little bit too much damage from the tower there. However, it's going to be Hunter finishing off. Nazebo, Pink Blackouts, the next one on the chopping block. They do roll. They are going to be fine. Scatter comes through, doesn't find them. That's going to be objective in favor of the side of Spooky Ghosts. That was a scary time for them, jeez. And now this can be game ending. I don't even know who you put in there in all honesty. Maybe Hanzo goes with the objective. I think Little Wolf potentially. But you definitely want a gunner in sooner rather than later, as it looks like they are just going straight core. I think honestly, Hanzo goes in. Nice pull. That is the second pull used by Simeon, I believe. Yes, it is. Yeah, you're missing a lot of damage and armor if you actually don't have someone in that protector itself. It does go down. Yeah, it looks like they're going for the end call. Dragon Arrow finds its target, and that is going to be Protector on call. We have a Wailing Arrow. That's going to be that. Unicycle Yay being forced all the way back into their Hall of Storms. And this Protector now getting through core. Getting through the shields. I think you want someone to jump in. No, they're just going to keep going like how it is. Protector is getting its punches in. We can see that core is quickly dropping now. That may actually be going to a map number 3 at the end of the day. It is, as the second map taken by Spooky Ghosts. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Map number 3 incoming. I need to take a breath. Ooh. Damn. That was a hell of a series, and once again, these early game tanks are not working out for either side. much like the early game variant, Garrosh also considered very early game. Yeah, sure, Decimate and Deadly Calm help at level 20 for Garrosh, but it does work. They made it through with no gun of it. That's impressive. Yeah, that is a very good point. But it really is sometimes the Protector is more a hindrance than anything else. And I do like seeing that they did just decide to hit with it. Eric with a W name change for the win. Yeah, absolutely. Ewick getting the win there. But no, talking about stats real quick, we do see in terms of stats, Nazebo 177k, Soak could be Hanzo 162k, hero damage 71k on Hanzo, 90k, Nazebo. I'll give up a decimate loss for a game. Freya can confer with idioms. You know what? That is fair. Actually, it did turn out to be correct. You did not want to gun. They're correct. They did not want to Gunneveer in that point. It actually worked out better for them. I admit I'm not great at the game. I was wrong in that regard. So excellent to see it there. There's the Charlemagne phrase we all know. In terms of healing by way, Lucy 132k, 75k, and a win. That Rejuvenecia helped Diablo so much in the late game. They got to live through so much damage because, well, Rejuvenecia does so much healing. That percent healing at level 16 on a full health Diablo is so much. It's just so much to deal with. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I guess so. If it started falling apart, that's when probably you wanted someone to jump in the gunner seat. You didn't necessarily need it. I think Hanzo maybe, but yeah. Yeah, but these are the talents to anyone who is interested. Decimate always fun to see picked up, even if I think Taunt is a bit better at times. Decimate is always a good idea. I did like APOC Diablo, and I guess the thing to really stands out is the Bossa Nova. Not often you do see Bossa Nova picked up by Hanzo, but hey, it worked out for them. Those quick, multiple sound barriers do so well. I realize this is probably not on the overlay, it gets cut off a little bit. Lucio taking every talent I've never seen. I don't know, I like Accelerando, and if you're playing on the wall a lot, which this Lucio was, his build does make sense. Definitely interested to see reverse amp still and not Boombox. Boombox does help out a lot in a lot of regards, but definitely idioms is a bait. That could be true. But definitely an interesting build, especially because you do not often see the beat drop, and especially Bossa Nova nowadays. Nazebo, very unfortunate they didn't quite get the late game swing in they could have. I do like Finger of a Deep. I do actually like Finger of a Deep a lot. It does help a lot in that late game. And especially, I thought Val Infection could, quote, fix, end quote, the problem that early game Garrosh gives, that late game Garrosh gives, where he is definitely a win early tank. Hopefully don't get to the point of late game. But they didn't quite get through it in the end. I do enjoy free map series. I really do. Free map series, honestly, is what I live for in terms of best of threes. And of course, 5-map series are best of fives, that's without a doubt. But it's not often you do see that it does go this late. But the question is, what shall we do with it? What shall they do next map? I think it's going to be Assistant New Manager first picks again. Ultimately, realistically, I think that's the best plan. I don't see what else to do it, because both these maps, it's very much turned into whoever first picks does get the map win, as we can see if I go over to the screen here. So yeah, that is going to be likely the best plan. The best play here is going to be doing what you can and be taking a map you're comfortable, or taking first pick, then taking the heroes you're comfortable on. I didn't see how many stacks Pink Blackout had in the end, which is a bit unfortunate, because I was a bit curious as to see how that one went. But I guess I got lost in the action where I kind of forgot to look at the numbers. It's a little bit late now. Yeah, super low death game as well. It's only 8 kills to 8 kills over 20 minutes. That is impressive, to say the least. I have apparently music going in the background. Let's just lower that a little bit so it's not overpowering me. There we go. That's good enough. Solid discipline by both teams. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing discipline by both teams. That is exactly what you need if you are both. Really? Turn it up more? That's exactly what you also see if wind for each map, so to speak. First wind, first map, second wind, second map. We're on to the third wind now. Hopefully, I can carry it to the end. John, how come you didn't accept my party invite? Ooh, that's awkward. John not accepting a party invite, that's very awkward. Seem to be lucky, Goddess VO says. Ooh. No, I do hope we go all the way once again for this map as well. If we get to the 20 versus 20, it'd be very interesting. We are just waiting on, I think one team says they're ready. Yep, we're just waiting on the other. They're just having a talk about strategies. They are greatly, I do greatly appreciate anyone who lurks as well, by the way, because it definitely does make it a bit more enjoyable saying this all to an audience, whether they be active, like Fensad in the corner, or whether it be people just quietly watching. It does make me happy knowing people are listening to whatever I have to say, whatever that may be, even if it is me just being dumb. If it looks like the ghosts are ready, I just heard a thump upstairs. I hope my flatmate is alright. But it looks like we are going to be starting things up. Hopefully they see that soon. God damn it, more. Anyway, into the draft we are, so let's swap it on over to that scene, shall we? So this map lets us know who has to face Fensad in the B West Finals. So is the question, is it going to be Assistant Noob Manager? Or the question is it going to be Spooky Ghosts? Will Spooky Ghosts be the ones to upset Assistant Noob Manager, or Assistant Noob Manager kind of continue their trajectory into the finals? It's a very good question, and I would love to see the answer, but we do have a draft and a game of away until we know what that answer is. So you'd see Tahaka banned out first once again. We're really not getting any differences in bans. Also, welcome Variel. Hope you're doing well today. Sorry, chat. I'll be right back. I just heard something, and I'll be right back. I'm just checking my flatmate because I messaged him going, "Hey, you're right," and they didn't answer. So I'm just gonna quickly mute myself, put on some music, and I'll be right back. Sorry about that, everyone. I checked on my housemate. I checked on my housemate. They're all right. He is all right. He just had a little bit of a fall. It happens. He is moving around some furniture and just kind of slipped. It fell over a little. He's fine. He's fine. Ignore me running up and downstairs. I need to recatch my breath. I hate running up and downstairs. But in terms of bans, we do see Joanna banned out. I do like that idea, considering we do see Nullius is back in. Nullius is a fan of that offlane Joanna, so it's a fair enough ban. We see it is going to be the Sagara banned out, fair enough. And the other side, once again, we do have Tahaka and Blaze. All these pretty reasonable in general. And anyone who said that I disappeared just to check my housemate, no. My friends are very important to me, so I'm always going to check on my housemates. They're all wonderful people. I'm glad I met them. And we do see that it is Sylvanas Lerock picked up on the other side. Diablo picked up first for a new manager. Pretty much what we've seen so far. Nothing's changing. This is all kind of a neutral. Furniture's alright. It's alright. He'd put it down, just kind of threw his weight off a little. Let's go to, I'm not reading that one, Jazzy. But I would like to see Hogger actually. Falstad and Li Ming picked up this is one of those maps where I get a little bit more questionable about Li Ming on, just because around the objective, it does get a little bit harder to get that general damage in. It can still do well. Do not get me wrong. It can still do very well on this map, but it's just one of those ones that have a little bit higher execution level to get off, especially with all those shrine minions around. So yeah, why don't we have Mephisto again this time around? This is a great Mephisto map. I wonder why. I guess Pink Blackout may be just more comfortable on the Li Ming than the Mephisto, but I would like to see Mephisto. We just see Lucio ban. I do like the Lucio ban. They're not allowing Diablo Lucio on the same team free time. I realize that Diablo Lucio was played first map as Noob Manager, second map Spooky Ghost, and now we're like, you know what? We're not having that combo again. That combo has won every single map tonight. We are not doing it again. No. So here we are, without it. Unfortunate. Also, I want to say thank you for following Jazzy. And I think I said thank you for the subscription, Goddess of Heals. Greatly appreciate it. Anubrek banned out last. I do like the Anubrek ban. It's definitely it would definitely been a good choice considering how much spell damage there is from Felstad and Li Ming. I would like to see... I don't know what tank, actually. Maybe ETC. ETC is always a fun one to see come on out. I want to minimize this so I can see what the hell is happening in my chat. But now, what do we get? Anduin variant. So we're running back that kind of general blow-up. Kalephis is still available. I actually like Kalephis on this map a lot. And I doubt that either Nullius or Simeon can pick it up at this point. And I do like the Anduin variant both being picked up here. Smash variant, while I don't see... It doesn't see as much play, can do very well in general. I love always checking over to my right to make sure my microphone is still working. Because I do... With how I've got things set up, I don't see everything I can't see everything at once. It's just how I have to tilt my head. Hogger picked up by Nullius. Very interested why that was one to get there. Where's my favorite character, Hogger? Jazzy, literally... okay, to be fair to you, Jazzy, I was about to pop off you, like, he can't see when it's happening. I can see when it's happening. He's got a little bit of delay. He's got another 18 seconds on the from a delay that I can see it. So you will see that soon enough. And go, there it is. There's my favorite character, Hogger, from the game Heroes of the Storm. And Kalidus. I imagine we're going to see Kalephis. Show us Kalephis. Tychus. I was wrong. It happens. I sometimes get things wrong. Unfortunate, but it is the case. Swap round. We don't see that many swaps. It is definitely going to be taunt. Oh, I was saying that I would have liked to see... I do like seeing Smash variant picked up when you already have a tank. Let me rephrase. I realize I say things badly. I would like to see Smash variant picked up every now and again if you already have a tank. But if you don't have a tank, it's always going to be taunt. No, almost always going to be taunt, I should say. Right, they're loading into the game now, so we'll have a quick talk about this here. I mean, I definitely... You mean Hearthstone? No, he doesn't. Hogger is not a good card in Hearthstone. That makes me sad. Yeah, these are both very even comps at this point. One team's more auto attack focused. One team is more spell damage focused. This could be a bit difficult for the team to deal with. Varian will probably pick up Protect. I imagine Tychus will have to see the spell armor at level 13? I think spell armor at 13 for Tychus. I think it's physical armor at 7. But right, let's swap on over and see how this map goes, shall we? For the final map of this semi-final, let's see how this goes. On the side, Assistant Noob managers, we have Simeon, Brightwing, Nullius is on Hogger, Unicycle, Yay, Diablo, Nor on Felstad, and Pink Blackout is on that Li Ming. On the other side, we do have Eric with a K. Starting things off with Leoric. Bottom, we do see Cheese coming out with Rift on the Sylvanas. Kalidus is on that pew man, Tychus. Little Wolf on the Anduin, and Rogoth rounding out the composition with the Varian. And we can see now, we can see the spreading out. We can see the fans, everyone fanning out. Pink Blackout is actually already rotating down. We can see they're already there to defend. There's more of VIP yet. No. You can see, quick rotation. They got half a tower at least from that rotation, which is still pretty good, all considering it was a really... You know what? That's a good point. I can run a prediction. A-N-M or Spooky Ghosts. Right. Bet your points. Go on, chat. There's something to bet on. As we see, I was distracted, Eric with a K goes down. As the spooky ghost once again arises. Right, we'll see how that goes. If you want to bet, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. It happens. What we do is now see that camp's being picked up. Nor has started theirs. We can see that the other one, open. I don't know who will win this map in all honesty. It'll be a little bit scary in that regard. We do see now Rogoff just anchoring bottom. We moved away from these general kind of, what's the word for it? These general rotations. Everyone's playing a little bit loose in that regard. But good camp take by Assistant New Manager. Getting that lead on that camp is a good start. And we can see that bottom camp now can be picked up. Oh, good route by Anduin. We can see the Phasia coming out. Unicycle, yay. Pop back up. That good 30% healing by Simeon. You can see the camp is being started. And yeah, you can get away with doing this early on. Spooky Ghosts. Well, Varian doesn't have Taunt yet. He is not a real tank for a little bit. We can see that there is going to be the punishment for it. However, Little Wolf does expect things, realizes what's happening, checks the bush, and that's too late. See, game, it's just me stuck on it. That is just you, Voriel. You did freak me out, though, my dude. Right, I'm going to open this, see what happens. We do see Taunt is up now for Rogoff. If you are still seeing that screen, though, you may want to refresh, because it's definitely working on my end of things. So, Li Ming is going that hybrid build. I imagine we're going to see Calamity still. Rogoff coming, Eric with the K coming down, slapping in his like, yay. Good pre-cleanse by Simeon. Actually, don't think it intended to catch the variant taunt, but it did work out. Right, as I want to note now, I haven't actually looked at talents until now. Stacking, we do see 10 stacks on the Bell start. Good start. Not as good as the other start, but good start nonetheless. We can also see that's minigun Tychus, and it went with piercing light. Variant did go taunt, surprise, surprise. And Sylvanas actually completing the circle has gone the third and final level 1 talent that I didn't think she was going to pick up. She did go Shadow Dagger at 1. And I do like that they're setting up early on this map. You need to set up early against the Hogger team. You do not want Hogger to set up their infinite. And Li Ming still getting a little bit of value here. Nullius setting up, as we can see it. Hogger slowly sitting there. Right, we can see Hogger will eventually get that. We can see Eric of the K does get forced out, Polymorph coming out. Now we see Hogger is just going to spin. And this is where Hogger actually comes a little bit difficult to deal with. You need to now find your way to how to force onto this point without taking so much damage from that spinning man. Tychus minigun is a really good way to do so if you manage to get on his inside, but it's not the easiest to do nonetheless. Or you just kill the minions before Hogger can hit them. Those two are both valid options. Yep, we see Mink Blackout's in trouble. No, wow, that is just Hogger spinning. Yep. Nullius just basically took their hands off the keyboard for the better part of... I actually hate this Tychus skin. What? It has no visual indicator for his trait. It does, it glows blue. But yeah, we did see that the Mortar Punisher did get jumped. It isn't... What's the word I'm looking for? It isn't frozen at least, so they don't have to deal with that. That's very fortunate for them. But it still takes a lot of damage. And we do see that the front gates do still go down. But yes, I do agree in general, Jazzy, it is much harder to see the... It's harder to see the minigun. It's hard to see that trait. Oh, quick camp take. And they do back out pretty quickly. Nor rolls up. We do see Eric of the K forced out. Very low, but no damage there on top of them. As we do see now, we are getting that experience advantage slowly coming in for the Assistant New Manager. Unicycle, yay, takes so much damage thanks to Collidus there. Minigun does work. And they are going to be in the rhythm. So the later we get into that game... Okay, yep. That would probably have been a good thing to know. But yeah, thank you for telling me, Jesse. Very interesting to know that it doesn't have a good visual indicator for colorblind. That's rough actually now I think about that. Yeah, interesting you bring that up. So, hi Shy, hope you're doing well, husband. But yes, we also, yeah, that's rough. Interesting to know. Because yeah, minigun's active there, but I can see how that is. Yeah, if you don't have colorblind mode, that's really awkward actually. Visually cool, colorblind awkward. Alright, we do see that it is going to be Eric with a K and Nullia still fighting top. Nor going, maybe a steal a camp. It bold that we do see the camp steal coming in out, but it is wholesale rotation. They do have 10s available to them, so you may as well if you get the chance. Nor is quickly dying to this camp. Eric with a K realizes what is happening. Nope. Yup. Oh. Good Ray Fork immediately upon seeing the enemy team's like, wait a minute, I don't want to be here. I know this is not where I want to be. And Eric with a K does get out to safety as we can see level 10s are online for Assistant Noob Manager. We do see that it is Hortapult Hogger, Blink Heal Brightwing, Gust Fellstard once again. I'm surprised they let Nor get Fellstard this time around because that did so well first time round. We'll see Repulsion Li Ming, and it is going to be APOC Diablo Unicycle late. Yay, kind of learnt from last time. They don't want Anduin. They really can't afford to let Anduin get that Holy Word Salvation off again this time because it did so well last time. Oh, there we go. That's the APOC combo coming out. We do see Rogoth does get pulled to safety. I think Rogoth may have been fine, but the pull was used either way. And we do know on the other side, we see it is going to be Draken Laser Drill. Interesting. More often than not, you do... I feel like I say this every time. A lot of the time, you do see that's Comedy Odin for the actual Shrine Clear, which would be very helpful into the Hogger side, actually, but this does work still. Unicycle, yeah. The Entomb didn't hit them, but it does work. Valk 2. Oh, yeah, I got it now. But we do see now the teams are making way down. Hogger is a little bit later than everyone else, but their team does have a pretty good position on the objective so far. Last thing I'll note is Light Bomb Anduin is the last heroic that I was to mention. Nullius sits into position to set up and dies for it. Nullius was just a little bit too impatient that time around. They had the time to get off the first time, but that was a very quick death onto the Hogger. And that is a well-executed kill by Spooky Ghosts. Unicycle Ye gets a flip, pushes Varian to wall. Varian protecting for that whole thing. We do see Orb does find a little bit of splash damage. Pink Blackout we can see has it back up. And doesn't quite get anything there. It's just an airball. Nope, Rogoth has been found. Nor rolls just before the taunt. Very fortunate for them. And they get to live. Wait, what build is... Okay, there's grenades on them. It is a Frozen Punisher, by the way, so this is very good for the side of Assistant Doom Manager. And yeah, Black Arrow's up as well, definitely helps it out. Draken Laser Drill does get dropped and put straight onto the building. Wailing Arrow is now out, but the Frozen Punisher does so much to help them. You can see they're already deciding to leave though, they're not really wanting to commit. They can go back in when Varian gets torn up, and that's in a few seconds time. But looks like they are just choosing to go elsewhere. They check camp. Unicycle Ye gets taunted. That's Light Bomb on top of him. That is a lot of damage, but the phase shift does a lot of healing. The Unicycle Ye all the while getting hurt throughout this. Eric with a K and Collidus is in trouble. Collidus is going to be the next one to go down. Desperate Prayer, not enough to save. Little Wolf did try their best. Rogoth does get forced out. And that is a little bit biased because they don't have Brightwing. Rock Gear Worlds is just Hog. Yep, Hogger. A little bit more stacks on the Tychus, and I think that's a dead Diablo. I do think the bigger they are here, there's some credence going for the bigger they are here. The bigger they are does a lot because, well, there's a big health pool already. It does help chip down at the beginning bit, and then you have Grenade build to finish off, but it's not necessarily the choice in terms of that. Now we can see the team looking at the bottom camp. No, I just think you set up for the kill rather than actually doing the camp. Good dodge of a flames by Rogoth. Does find Yusuke. Yay, there comes the taunt out. We can see that it's... Oh, and we're not quite there. Follow-up. Entomb, however, is. We see Minigun was active there. We do see Diablo pushing onto the minion to get out to safety. Taunt will be back up soon enough. You can see the team just trying to get what they can from this bottom camp. Meanwhile, we can see Falstar pushing top. We see Leoric trying to clear mid, realizing no, they have to go to react to top now. They do not have the time to stick around. And it looks like they're just going to have to trade buildings at this point. Eric of the K cannot push in any further. Oh, minigun directly on top of Unicycle Ye. Unicycle Ye taking a lot of damage there. Simeon trying their best, saving the peel coming out from Pink Blackout. And Simeon does keep Diablo alive, but more and more, Unicycle Yay is getting closer and closer to their demise of each passing taunt. And this middle building will go down as well. Spooky Ghost is giving up a lot of value to try and get these kills at this point. And if they get the kills, they've great, they've done it, but they're not getting the kills consistently as a current issue. And now we can see bottom being pushed in. Both the back camp and Nor pushing up front. And they're not stepping up. They know something's up down there, they're just not quite sure what to do about it. They do give it mid camp pretty easily though. And I'll close, I'm going to leave talents open because we do see that it is going to be assistant new manager at 16s in a few moments. And it looks like, yeah, there's a lot of forward play from assistant new managers to see if they can catch someone out before they get 16s. Doesn't appear to be the case. I'd like to see them actually late to the objective and actually try catch Nullius out on the rotation. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Leoric does go bomb to see if they can get 16s, but everyone else is stepping up to make sure they can do what they can. Right, so we do see it's full cube of Diablo. I'm going to close this temporarily. Honestly, go run down the building for a little bit if you're not certain about getting on this objective immediately. Until Hogger sets up, it's not the easiest for them to clear. You do have black arrows available in a few moments. You do have a wholesale reaction coming on down. You see Hogger is just taking the slow way of clearing. Oh, Unicycle Yay is stuck in the APOC. You see the APOC once again. Instant cleanse from Brightwing, however, so they should be fine. I actually don't know. Did the APOC even hit them? I don't think so. Right, Hogger's been taking his time. We see Nullius backs out. This one you can still technically infinite on the bottom, where you can do a weird like V pattern. Rogoff once again just leaving bushes right as Unicycle Yay goes to check them. Oh, that's a stun onto Leoric. Leoric does get the drain off. And we do now see it's a lot coming up. Instant cleanse on the Wailing Arrow. Good stuff. But Nullius, first one down once again. Simeon in trouble. Forced out. Protect on Varian. Eating the full damage of a Li Ming combo. And that is this objective immediately balanced out. Nice grenade finding the backliners. But that is now Unicycle Yay in trouble. Taking a lot. Phase shift just coming off in time for the instant blink to pink blackout. And that is as I said, Unicycle Yay is getting closer and closer to not living these taunts. And you really need to start focusing someone that's not Rogoff. Rogoff is surviving these engages from Unicycle Yay. That it's kind of just going into the wind. It's not easy. You're biking uphill in the wind. It's not a good idea. It's great for your fitness. It's horrible for if you're trying to win this match. We see the jump coming out. Unicycle Yay then gets, yep, good cast. If they get to live for it. Nice Daunt onto Rift. That's just Unicycle Yay taking so much damage to go down. That's a Soulstone reset as well. Even less ideal, but I guess if you have a Tychus minigunning with 100 stacks, 102 stacks, so it's pretty close to guessing it. That's, you're not going to live for very long either, and we can see that very much. They have built a composition that is here to kill Diablo, as we do also see that it is going to be the auto attack build from Leoric as well. So, we see Sylvanas has gone around the world getting each different level 1 for their comp. We can see now Leoric is getting every single different build, well, build end quote, archetype for their comp as well. So we see they went from drain, from W build to E build to auto attack build. We do see that Sylvanas went from Q build to auto attack build to W build. We see some great use of shield walls by Rogoff. Yeah, Rogoff has been excellently timed with those shield walls. Right, we can see the team backing out. They're not wanting to play anything risky. They are now even talent tiers. They are doing well to do so. And they're actually even taking some of these late game fights as well, which varying comps are not known for doing well on. The question is, when it comes to post 20, how are these fights going to go? Rogoff just listly moves to dodge some little bit of arcane missiles. But yeah, they're doing very well thus far to make sure they aren't going to go down. This is very scary now for... Not very scary. It's still relatively even in terms of structures. Both teams have 1 fort left, or keeps left. Both teams are very close in kills. 2 kills for the starters new manager, 3 kills for Spooky Ghost. And they're actually also pretty even in so as well. Not even a quarter level difference. Very early APOC by Unicycle, yay, very unfortunate there. And now they're just realizing, yep, we're going to have to back out. And I imagine the objective's actually going to be called shortly. The next one maybe 20 seconds or so. Eric with K doing their own camp. I don't think they get up there in time. I know they want to. You barely get there in time. Nope, you don't. You do get the stun, however, and that is going to be a dead Leoric. And that makes it 3 kills to 3. I was once wrong with my guess on how long it's going to take for the objective to come up. Have a good night, Goddess of Heals. I know, they've all been very long maps. It's very surprising it's gone this back. Love to see the Wailing Arrow. Yeah, I do love seeing Wailing Arrow. It definitely is the more consistent AoE one. Have a good one, Goddess of Heals. Love you too. Have a good night. And we're just going to take a time. Oh, cool. Here comes the 20s. And here comes everyone's favorite 20. Wind Tunnel. Very, the very scary one itself. You never want to really deal with Wind Tunnel. Alright, luck starts now. Oh, there's a Wailing Arrow. Does hit for 2. And we do see that Nullius is booped into the Entomb. But that is going to be the Leoric dead by that point. And Eric with a K just chain dying at this point. Very unfortunate. Also, welcome to chat, Starry Skyfire. And also, welcome Easy K. I hope you're doing well. But yes, level 20 Gust versus level 20 Doom. Both of these are very scary heroics in their own rights. The question is, which one will be scarier? Wind Tunnel, amazing as we know. And Buried Alive. Also, that just 3 seconds of silence in one close spot. Oh, Unicycle Yay did not quite have the combo they needed. Kalidas, minigun active. Only got a couple of shots of Unicycle Yay, so that minigun goes down. Also, welcome Slick Rope. Hope you're doing well as well. We see that Dragon Laser Drill dropped in the middle of everything, but no. We do see that it's charge coming in now onto Rift. I'm going to need to close this because you see Unicycle Yay in trouble. Wind Tunnel off to the back line. We can see Kalidas drop that Spell Arm, or actually Spell Arm was used on them by Brightwing. Then they can see their own Spell Arm being blocked. Li Ming in trouble. They are very much out of position compared to the rest of the team, and they die. And Li Ming, outside teleport, cannot escape, and you actually need to cancel this if you're Hoggy. You can't stay doing this forever. We realize Nullius realizes that's the case. Nullius does dash out to safety. That is actually going to be very split now. Nullius is going to be one going down. Little Wolf does get pushed on the wall. Unicycle Yay realizes they've done the same thing that they shouldn't have done, nor needing to back out. And you now need to find a way to make sure you don't die here. Kalidas actually for one in trouble. Brightwing goes down, but Kalidas lost at the same time. Fortunately for the side of Assistant New Manager, they got the Frozen Punisher. If they lost it there, that may have very well been game. So good on North for sticking around, making sure they're not going to lose in that situation. Yeah, very rare to see Pink out of position like that, but it did happen. Unfortunate to say the least. Alright, we do see that this Punisher is going to be quickly dropping. But still getting a decent amount of value. It's done its job, so to speak. It is making its way through everything, and it is going to be slowly punching down that building. Right, objective will camp up. We do see Siege being taken by Eric of the K, and it's just Spooky Ghosts now doing what they can to make sure they get the value they want. So yeah, they've done excellent for themselves to make sure that this is going to be as an exciting late game as they can. They don't want it peeling off, so this is set up to be a hell of a final few levels. We're at the 20-minute mark now, so the question is, how will this close out? Sorry, accidentally tapped out. Yeah, that was a wild team fight, especially because neither team could end on that post-20s. That's how crazy we are getting. When Eric coming through, we do see 2. But Eric with a K does get hit with a stun. They can't follow up any Entomb. They can't actually get any kills from it. Eric with a K lurking below. Nullius does scout it out. Eric with a K, I don't know if you actually want to find in that corridor unicycle. Oh, we do see that Wind Tunnel stopping Little Wolf and Kalidas from really following up, and Eric of K does use the Entomb, while the damage and healer are forced out. Pink Blackout is forced back. The Siege Camp damaging Unicycle Yay and Norman Pink Blackout. In the meantime, we can see now that Eric of K goes down, but Unicycle Yay is getting relatively low of themselves. Rogoff finds... No, he doesn't find the taunt. Nice blink heal from Brightwing. That Invisible Friend talent does so much. Simeon in trouble, does get hit with a stun, does get out of to safety, however. see that it is going to be a wholesale retreat. Nor doesn't have Gust up for another 30 seconds. And we see Rift wanting the damage. Kalidas wanting the damage. And no, they get to live. Once again, this map is still very even. The kill is still very even. The soak very even. This can go either way. This is actually far closer than I ever expected to see this map go. This is maybe not this map go, but I expect to see it have ended by now. I didn't expect it to be quite going this direction. But hey, that is what we can see. This is very good to see coming out from both teams, and I've accidentally tabbed out of game again. Sorry about that, guys. Best castward, thank you. Yes, but we do see now. Ooh, that is unfortunate. Vera, Spooky Ghost losing that fort now, that keep now. Wait a minute. Yeah, keep now. That's unfortunate. The next objective is top. I'm rooting for a new manager. Well, you're rooting for the top team then, because the new manager were coming into this series as the top seed. The question is, how will they handle this end game? As well, it's pretty close all in all. Why did I just hear it destroy a fort? Oh, bottom fort went down right, yep. They're making this as even as possible. We can see that, well, Assistant New Manager are trying to open up these alternate win conditions. They're trying to make sure they can get what value they can on the map and see what they can get away with. See, there have been wholesale halves now. Nor can see that Kalidas is throwing grenade, but no, I don't think you want to stay here. Nor, you are for one person you cannot afford to get. Yep. Nice. Peeling by everyone. That in turn went out, but no one was found from it. Rift, you are taking a very aggressive line there. Pink Blackout did go for a full combo, but didn't quite find it, and we can see that Rift is going to take the safe play and just teleport on upwards. Rogoff going Q for a bush. Unicycle Yay still rotating up, just making sure they can make it up there as soon as possible. Unicycle Yay very aggressive compared to everyone else, and we can see now the objective is available, and it is going to be started by Spooky Ghosts. So how are the team of Assistant New Manager going to fight into this is very much the question here, and it may just be let's go and see what happens, eh? And it looks like let's go and see what happens, eh, is going to be the solution as they actually pretty easily force Assistant New Manager out as we see Unicycle Yay throwing onto this. Oh, that is Wind Tunnel. That's two people pulled out by Little Wolf, and that is actually pretty good cooldown to get out of him. Oh, but that is going to be the Diablo going down. Diablo didn't have Soulstone available. Nullius does have to Horde pulled out, and this is now going to have to be a wholesale retreat for the side of Spooky Ghost. Simeon does phase shift on out. Polymorphs Varian, but that's not quite the person you need a polymorph in that regard. You need a polymorph the follow-up damage. Now this is where it's scary for Assistant New Manager. You are gonna have to deal with the objective without your tank. It is at least an arcane Punisher, so it's not the end of the world. If this is, it's not the most powerful one. Let's just put it that way. There's more powerful objectives. Fortunately, it's not frozen. Very fortunately, it's not the
Red team has summoned an arcane Punisher.
Mortar Punisher, because that scales well with time. We can see now, we can see Hoggard trying to get value elsewhere on map. We can see it is otherwise going to be everyone else up top. I think Hoggard needs to abandon this and come back in all honesty. That wall is down, so they're looking to follow up on the jump of the Punisher. And Diablo, how many souls is Diablo at? 90, that's unfortunately close, but Rift has the black arrows available. That fort is going to start going down. Nor does take the jump. They are going to get... Yep, that's Nor dead. That's a one person you needed up. That's a one person you needed up at this point in time. So this is now going to be the point where Assistant New Manager are going to have to fight for their lives. This, after being undefeated the whole season, is this where their playoff run comes to an end? The semi-finals. Nullius is going to hold on. Wailing Arrow actually does the damage, but can't quite find the kill. They are needing to burn this objective first. This objective is actually still a problem, even as it is. Jump comes out onto Nullius and Co. That's going to be them going down quickly. All while Dragon Laser Drill upgrade was picked, and it is going to be going on straight onto the core itself. And that is going to be the map and the series. Going over to the underdogs, the seed number 4 is Spooky Ghost takes it. Spooky Ghost takes it at the end. That was well fought between both teams. And I think no one would have predicted that upset. Maybe their own team, but I don't think anyone would have quite predicted that upset. And I realize I actually need to change scene, don't I? But there we go. Not how I thought it would go. I don't know if anyone predicted it going that way, but it was an exciting end to this best of 3 series. Whew. Well, dang. is all I can say about that. That was a hell of a time. It's not what I expect to see, but I think that is what I wanted to see. At the end of the day, where's the channels? There's the channels. So I will join a channel soon and ask for an interview from both teams. But let's talk about stats real quick. So in terms of stats, we do see 189k siege from Felstar, 154 siege from Sylvanas, hero damage 70k, Li Ming 80k, Tychus, healing 107k from Frightwing and 75k from Anduin. In terms of the soak itself, but it is going to be Jazzy Fast has found out something that they didn't know before. That's very interesting to find out. And in terms of siege, 21k on Nor, Felstar, 22k on Leoric. So a lot of pickup done by Leoric there, even though Sylvanas did help with siege. Got a little bit soaked by Hogger, but that is fine at the end of the day. It is quite a hard one to do. Spooky Ghost, Sleeping Giants, either way, outright ending to pay out. Truth prediction outcome. Truth outcome, Spooky Ghost, complete prediction. There you go. Who saw it going that way? Certainly not I. But in terms of talent, significant standout here, no. But I would just say, very good, very well handled on the wind tunnels. Spooky Ghost managed to adapt to it and overcome it in the end. Interesting Diablo build, having a kind of hybrid between W and Q. But I guess you're not going Flames. You may as well go Q build to kind of try full combo someone. Hogger did Hogger things. I don't know how Hogger works. Do not ask me. I'm slowly learning him, but I do not know how he works. On the other side of things, that Entomb does so well. Yeah, last season's champs kind of pulling it through at the end. I did like that. While I did talk bad about Laser Drill, I do recognize it did well this game. So, very good in Collidus and picking it up. It did its job. It got the damage it needed. And even at the end there, it was kind of just hitting core, and it worked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to see if anyone is willing to have a yarn with me, have a little bit of chat with me. I'm going to put myself in a lobby and go I'm muted. Who is it again? Spooky Ghosts. Anyone willing to join me? I don't think anyone saw it going that way, in all honesty. I didn't. But hey, I do appreciate the setup. The upsets. It does come every now and again. And when it happens, it's a hell of a time. So I'm just going to keep an eye on the lobby next to me. That is a very good question. How many people... Yeah, I do know Drill is fine because Diablo goes wild when Tychus uses Odin. But that was a hell of a time either way. As that was not what was expected. I don't know how else to put it. It was just not the expected outcome. Right. No one's willing to join me. That's kind of sad. I'm kind of sad by this. Spooky Ghosts are probably just popping off in their own Discord. Just going, yeah, let's go. But no, none of them are joining Lil or me. Nope, that's a lie. I immediately have two people join me. We have both Rift and Little Wolf. Okay, we're just having the whole team, aren't we?
I thought this would be fine.
You know, I still appreciate this, but... How are you guys feeling taking out the team that up until this point have been undefeated this season?
I mean, we expected it.
Ooh!
I'm kidding.
No, definitely not.
No, I feel great.
It feels good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was excellent to watch from both the teams. I did get some things from Valkyma early on, but how did you guys prepare for this? As this really was a absolute slog of a series.
The actual preparation was mostly just done today. We did a lot of homework as far as figuring out what our draft strategy was going to be. I think pretty much everything that we were anticipating to have happened, which felt really nice. It felt like there was no curveballs thrown our way. So in that respect, we felt very prepared. But if I'm being honest, that preparation didn't really happen until today.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, people are saying you guys are a bit quiet. I'm just going to turn you up a little bit more. So
we had a little bit of homework earlier in the week.
A little bit earlier in the week, yeah.
We became decisive about our homework and what we want to do with it, I think, today.
Mm-hmm. So what was the decision behind banning out specifically Pink more often than not?
I think Eric was a big part of that. We looked at the hero pool, and they've obviously they have like a really high win rate on those heroes. I think Zagara was the bigger one of the two because we felt like we didn't know how to answer her without getting like kind of teased out, for lack of a better word. And then the Li Ming obviously is a little bit, you can play around a bit more. But then I think Eric was the one who realized that like outside of those two heroes, they had some losses under their belt. So their their small hero pool was kind of a weakness that we thought we could exploit.
I realized I saw in chat that someone had a question, then I realized it was Gimme More getting scouting for your grand finals next week. So I'm not going to ask you guys that. I don't quite give out free information that easily to the viewers, but no, map number 1, Tomb of the Spider Queen. That was definitely a long one where you guys were actually looking quite comfortable for a long time. What do you think happened at some point where it did just switch?
I got caught out as Sylv, and then everyone else died, and we kind of spiraled from there.
Yeah, I think we did do a bad job recovering from that.
If I'm being honest, I think the 20s from them were just a lot better. Like we had the Entomb, obviously, which is really strong, but the combination of Falstad Gust and High Five was just like too much. Like we just couldn't find our engages where we wanted them.
That's a pretty good summary of things. Yeah, because you guys did very well that early game. It seems to be a map you guys had practiced a fair amount. You obviously did choose a map pick, so how much had you been grinding these maps up before the series?
I think if anything, we just kind of looked at what maps we had, like a game plan that we could go to. I think when we looked at their teams, they were playing rather big maps. I think it showed them that their bans were Abraxas and Battlefield of Eternity today, so they liked some of those larger maps. So we wanted to try and keep the maps that we went to smaller. So I think Spider Queen, the rotations are pretty tight. We were surprised they took us to Volskaya just based off of like it being more of a team fight map, but then it kind of made more sense once the game progressed. And then
we were just getting ran around the map the whole game.
Yeah. And then because I didn't realize that actually until I'm saying it right now, but that's basically what happened. And then game 3 we went to Shrines just because we were looking at. I think game 3 was a combination of we wanted to go to a map that isn't massive, and then we also knew that we were gonna be giving them the Li Ming that game, so we wanted to play around ways to make her less impactful. The objective being one of them, I think.
You guys are really jumping ahead of my schedule of questions.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to go, did you pick that purely for Li Ming? But obviously, that was the answer. But I do, when you guys do get a map loss, the first map loss, what do you guys do to kind of reset and come back? Because there was a fair bit of time between each of these series for both teams. So I was going to ask either team the question. So what do you guys kind of do to get back in the headspace going, look, that was that map, let's just move on to the next?
I don't know about you guys, but I felt like and this doesn't always happen, I don't think that we felt like we played poorly the first game. So I don't think we were really that stressed out going into the second game in terms of like our comfort, right?
Yeah, it felt like
yeah, go ahead.
It felt like we were just really like not disappointed in our performance in the first game. Like I think, like I said, like the 20s were like kind of a big problem for us, and it was like, okay, well that was that, and then we just like kind of instantly moved on to the second game. I don't think there was much dwelling on that first game at all, really, which admittedly is not normal for us.
I feel like if anything, the first game just was like information where we figured out that our ideas that behind what we were scouting on were working fine, and then it was just for us up to like adjust a little bit from there.
Yeah.
Okay. So map number 2 was Volskaya. You guys had the Leoric Lucio, where map number 1, the other team of Leoric Lucio, was it not Leoric Lucio? Diablo Lucio. Was that just something you guys were like, yeah, let's just take that, they did well on it, we also do well on it, let's just take those 2 heroes and see what happens?
I think in the game, the Lucio was I think I did take it as a comfort pick because I know that my hero was a little bit less set in stone that game.
Yeah.
What was? Do you guys remember what?
I remember the
I'm
draft.
trying to remember how the draft went. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why we picked the Diablo.
Was it a late pick?
Diablo was your early pick. Was an early pick, I believe.
What?
I think we need that Sylvanas had been off board already, right?
What? Oh, I do actually have
the Sylvanas first. I remember, like our first pick was Sylv.
You had
Sylv
Leoric
board,
Diablo in the
pick
2. You had Leoric Diablo 2 free spot.
Okay.
And this was into Garrosh, right?
This was after This was before the Garrosh pick.
Oh, but it was that game.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we were basically either anticipating the Garrosh or the Murd. And kind of okay with Diablo into either of those. We knew they didn't really play Tychus at all, so we weren't really sad about that. We had already taken the Sylph % damage off the table. We had the Leo, so it felt like Diablo just like made a lot of sense there.
Oh, I also remember.
Were we thinking Lightning Breath into Entomb or Stun APOC? Like we had some Stun Arrow with Hanzo in the net.
I also remember us being worried about like if they did like throw us a curveball and send out a what's it called, Tychus. We also had a Medivh to answer that too.
Interesting. Yeah, someone in chat asks, why level 20 Taunt for game number 1?
The guy who was playing Variant is not here right now. I couldn't answer.
That's a good
question.
question.
I don't even know what level 20 Taunt does.
That gives a cooldown for each sword attack, yeah.
My best guess is just like we were kind of just playing around the taunt. Because like how I said in the first game where we were Varian Leoric, they had the Lucio to answer the Varian and the Falstad Gust to answer the Leoric. In that third game, they did not have the Lucio to answer the taunt. So we just wanted to taunt as much as possible because they just didn't have an answer to it.
Yeah.
We just wanted Gust to be gone, and the second Gust was gone, then we won the team fights.
Yeah.
And I think that showed in the 20s, because once we hit 20 that game, it was just, we just won every fight.
The Gusts were good that game. And there came a point where I was like, guys, I'll just throw the mind control early for the Gust if he tries to get behind us. And every time I followed up on the taunt target and the Gust came out, I was so mad at myself. The Gusts were really good.
Yeah, the Gusts were
the game one Gusts were super good.
And we do actually, we see High Five more often than not. It is true. Why did we see specifically Bossa Nova this time around? And Little Wolf, you are here to answer this one.
Yeah, I guess I was looking at what other talents I had. I guess I could have gone for like the extra healing talent. That would have been fine on Diablo 2. But I mean, those fights were happening pretty sporadically. All their damage was coming out fairly quickly. So I think just having the ability to have like a panic button for the Diablo more than once, I thought would be useful.
Panic. Seeing Rejuvenecia did definitely work that series. Just seeing both Eric and Rogoth's net health just being dropped and risen between those talent tiers. Were you guys very happy that or panicking that was just barely holding on the whole time?
I was a little sketched out, not gonna lie, but it worked out. I think there was one time after my second sound barrier on the bottom point where I'm like, he's gonna die anyways. I don't know.
Between the Diablo self-healing and the like Rejuvenecia and the extra sound barrier, it was like Diablo just lived way longer than he should have in that team fight. It was too much.
Also just to give me less credit for that fight too, like Greg fucking had a great engage.
Yeah.
And I was
I think I did see one moment where he charged and I saw this Lucio body go, oh no, as you just went after him immediately.
Yeah. I think our whole team was a little scared because I think at that point we were playing around the sound barrier was up in like 8 seconds. And Luis was like, hey, our sound barrier's up in 8 seconds. And then Greg like charges in with the Diablo.
I remember that. I was like,
we're doing that.
He barely lived there too.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the core offense right now?
No, the bottom
objective fight.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the core I was ISO'd. I didn't see anything as Hanzo on the game 2, and then everyone's just gushing over whatever happened. So I'm looking forward to watching the broadcast.
Right, but then we moved on to map number 3, Infernal Shrines. As you said, you guys picked it because it's kind of a little bit of a bait in that regard, where Li Ming does get that diminished value around the objective. However, Hogger, on the other hand, can be its own menace. And we did see that first objective, you guys just couldn't figure out how to step in, kind of what was going through your heads, and what was the talk around that of what you had to do coming up to that second and that third objective.
First of all, I was kind of a dick to Bill that game.
Okay.
Because I wanted us to be really aggressive around the picks, and we weren't. I felt like we weren't doing that early on, and I just needed to give it more time. I think the first objective we tried to fight on the point, if I'm not mistaken, which was not great. And then I think for the objectives after that, we almost always fought adjacently to the point with Eric being on the point himself.
Yeah.
It also helped to have laser post 10 with Tychus.
It was just a zoning tool, yeah.
Or for Hogger, I'm sorry.
Hogger, yeah.
Yeah. And we did see when you guys were actually able to step into the objective, and when I can't even remember what heroes you were all playing by the end of it. Kalidas was able to step inside Hogger's radius, I guess. It became a lot easier to get that minigun active and actually tear down the people.
Yeah, Tychus was a big part of the reason why that draft felt easy, I think. Like, just a super strong hero into Diablo, super strong hero into Hogger, and just not a lot of pressure from Li Ming.
Yeah, maybe we just had better late game.
I will say draft-wise, I felt like we won that game the second that they didn't immediately take the Lucio. Like they took an early Diablo and they didn't take a Lucio, which like by the end of that draft felt like we would have an answer to kill something.
Yeah,
or at least to play our game in some way or another.
As far as the drafts go, that was like the one pick that really surprised us, like that we were just not expecting. I think the whole team was like silent for like 5 seconds after they first picked the Diablo. We were like, wait a minute, that wasn't supposed to happen.
I think more so that they didn't pick Lucio on my
side. Do you mean
too.
Sylph,
exactly.
not Lucio?
No, Lucio. Maybe Sylph too. Okay. I mean, either one would have been.
I thought we were at one point saying they're 100% taking Sylph, and then they didn't, and we're like, oh.
that was something we were trying to plan around, but I think the biggest surprise was that they didn't take the Lucio that draft, because I was like, oh, how are you going to save your Diablo if I'm just getting murdered?
And it did very much feel like a matter of time, because with each passing taunt and each minigun that was unloaded upon him, you could just see Diablo's health just dropping a little bit more each time, and just eventually it did start killing as that stack, as the Ember Rhythm had finally stacked up enough to actually get through enough of Diablo's health before and even after Brighton phase shifted.
Yep. Absolutely.
But that late game, how did you guys finally start playing around Gust? Wind Tunnel and Silence of Tomb are both of those big, scary late game ults where if you hit them, you're really going to hit them and someone's going to die. How did you guys really start playing around that and actually getting your own off effectively?
I feel like we're playing for picks, right? Like, weren't they showing on the map, so we started to get a little aggressive, maybe staggering a little bit? But as far as a team fight, I don't really know.
At least in the third game, it felt like the wind tunnels were more used to peel, and I think that
was part of the idea. That was a little bit of
a saving grace. Yeah,
I will say there was one wind tunnel that happened on the top lane, near the top objective, and I do remember thinking about like just making sure that I wasn't the person getting caught in it, because I was able to pull 2 people out of it immediately.
Yeah.
You pulled Tychus variant out, and then Leoric was able to ghost out.
Yeah. And the nice part about that was too that the second that ability went down, I think all of us knew that we win that team fight at that point, right?
Right. It's just a huge step forward after that.
And Sylph has Self Unstoppable too, so I was able to get out of at least one of them top lane. Maybe a different point as well.
But right, that's really kind of all the questions I had, really. So I'll leave the floor open to you, Free. Any thanks, any kind of comments, any smack talk you want to lay down to Finn Sad before your match against them next week? Please try and keep down with swearing, but any smack talk you have, the floor is yours.
I guess I'll go first real quick. Just to be quick. Thank you to Bill a lot, because you're new to our team right now. Well, not new, but you were new to this season, and we've made it really far with you, and you've been great, so thank you to that. John, the team captain for assistant Noob managers, he actually has been on our team before, and he's just a super friendly, really cool guy that we've played against multiple times, and we've played with him for a long time. So really just big thanks to him. He's a great guy. And thank you to you as well for casting Linebus, because if I remember before the cast, you said that you weren't feeling super duper great.
I'm still not feeling great. I'm gonna go lie down after this.
Yeah, so I hope you feel better. And I just wanted to say that I really appreciate that you've volunteered your time to stream these games. It's honestly so cool of you, especially because I really like this game. I like playing with my friends, so thank you.
Right on.
The only thing I'll say is, like, the first time we played this team in season, I think we were all left with kind of like a bitter taste in our mouth. We felt like we didn't bring our A game, and so I feel like the rest of the season we were just kind of waiting for this match to happen in playoffs.
Yeah,
it felt really good to win it at the end of the day. As far as the rest of the bracket goes, I think for us this was like our thing that we were like planning to get to. And now that we've won, I'm not really sure any of us have really thought about the actual grand finals. So I guess we'll go from there.
You got Coastal Finals first, don't worry.
Yeah, coastal finals. Yeah, excuse me.
And Rift, anything from you?
Yeah, I want to thank the opposing team assistant noob manager. They put up such a great fight, and I just love bringing my A game. It's what makes the game fun. So the better matches, the more fun I have, and I thank them for being awesome opponents. And thanking my team, giving me this opportunity, being the first season with them. So it's been great to be here, and you guys have been the best team I've gotten the chance to play with. So thanks for that. And looking forward to our match against Fensad. I was unable to attend the last match, so I'm looking forward to having a good, clean match against them.
Excellent. But with that, I wish you all a good night. Thank you so much for joining me, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thanks, Lambus.
Thanks.
But yeah, chat, that was a hell of a game. That is those two teams put on basically a grand finals series for a semi-finals, coastal semi-finals. So they got a little bit to get there, but dang, they absolutely killed it. Assistant new manager had a stellar run, but all good things also got him doing is Spooky Ghosts, last season's champions, did eventually take it. And I think that is definitely something to talk about. Both teams can hold their heads high. Spooky Ghosts, you got a little bit to go still. So, Spooky Ghosts versus Fensad next week. Should be a hell of a series. Don't know if I can cast it unless they put it on Friday or Saturday, because that's the only 2 days I can make things. So yeah, hopefully that's the case. However, we'll see how that goes next time around. For now, it has been me, your host, the Lime Bus. And what I should really do is raid someone, shouldn't I? Let's go Plasty, eh? Plasty's a good friend. Plasticine, she is a little bit sick as well currently, so I'm just really going from one sick person to another. Sorry about that to anyone who wanted anyone, like, remotely healthy. So that has been it for me, the Line Bus. I hope everyone has a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world, because time zones are weird. But I'll see you all in the Nexus. Have a good one for now, everyone.